Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you might be in the world. We're coming to you from the Crystal Gondola, from the Breaking Up microphone in Alberta, Canada. The Crystal Gondola overlooking the elm-lined streets of Edmonton, Alberta. We're coming to you live here today, and this is a historic day, Daniel Barry. Stick around for more. When do you ever? Hey, but anyways, good to see you. I was working on my computer here a bit because I've got broken audio type problems, and we're just trying to get that stuff resolved, but I can't resolve it. Maybe I got to buy a new computer, but I can't afford to buy a new computer because they're so expensive. We got that 25% tax coming on. What the hell is the matter? What's the matter with these Americans? Trying to tax us to death. Trump, what's the matter with you? We're not happy. We're not happy at all. It's a bad situation up here in Canada. We're getting taxed to death by Trump. We don't know what to do. Troy, happy Mardi Gras. Yeah, absolutely. Happy Mardi Gras. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, we're being hit with this 25% tariff. So if I was to buy something American, let's say I ordered a product from the States today, and I would have to pay 25% more. It's like, ridiculous. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm going to have to stock up on, like I was saying to Canada RV there, I'm going to have to start stockpiling the bourbon here, and then run the booze into Ontario, where they're banning bourbon, banning all the booze from BC or from the United States over in Ontario. So we'll have to smuggle some bourbon in from Alberta, keep them going over there. Yeah, that's not a good situation. You've got 10% tax on oil coming from Canada into the States. Remember, we ship a lot of crude to you, and you refine it down in the States. But then again, you ship a lot of it elsewhere. So if there's a 10% increase, you probably won't be buying that crude, or buying less of that crude. That's not a good situation. We've got, definitely some counter tariffs happening. And of course, Trump said, well, if Canada does some kind of a counter tariff, then all you're going to do is just put another tariff to meet that one, to equal that. So instead of a 25% tariff, it'll be, if we give you a 25% tariff, then you're going to give us a 50% tariff, It's going to be that kind of a thing. And, let's face it, the tariffs on Canada have nothing to do with fentanyl. Thanks a lot, Canada RV, for subbing up. Nice to see you subbing up again. Appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't know you unsubbed for me, but I guess you said you were mad at me or something there. Hey, don't get mad, get even. And remember, this is the internet. If I say something about you, take it with a grain of salt. It's fun. A little bit of fun in there, right? So, thanks a lot for the follow. Appreciate that. Bon temps rouleur. Yes. Jean, good to see you. If Amazon is added to the tariffs, well, yeah. Well, there is a Canadian Amazon, so I don't know how they're broken up like that, because Amazon has, probably a Canadian division, because I know there's Amazon.ca. There's a website that's Canadian. So you got me on how they work that kind of a stuff out. But yeah, if I order something from Amazon, will I have to pay 25% tax? That's a good question. I would doubt it, though. I would doubt it. In fact, I should go over to Amazon and go and take a look there. By the way, I have an Amazon wish list. I have a pretty expensive buying habits, though. I looked at the stuff that I want to buy. I want to buy a better chair. I want a chair that has like a heating pad or something in the back. Would be nice for my back. So massage and heating kind of a chair. I don't know if I'll get the massage part, but I did see one online. It was kind of a gaming chair with a heating pad in the back there. So I'd like to get that. Then my back won't get so sore sitting around here. Then what else did I want? I wanted to get one of those Osmo 3 cameras, for going out there and filming, doing stuff like that. So a little bit easier, inconspicuous type of a camera, but a little gimbal. Take a look at it. Osmo 3 DJI Osmo DJI 3 DJI Pocket 3 is the exact name of it. DJI Pocket 3. Take a look at it. If you want to get a different camera, yeah, I'm kind of being recommended that one for a little mobile gimbal type camera, all-in-one type setup, but very, very, very expensive. Those things are, yeah, like I said, I've got expensive buying habits, right? So it's like the chair is going to be expensive. The little gimbal thing is going to be expensive. What else was it that I want there? I don't know. Bunch of crap there. Bending the knee to bullets to give him a wrench? No, I'll not give him a wrench, Edward. What do you know, what am I, crazy? The guy doxed me over in RV's channel and then says, oh, Tommy, I'm not going to come over to your channel unless you give me a wrench over there. You know, like, come on. I like the balls that Bullets has, though. He's got a lot of gall, a lot of balls, you know, to say something like that. So I'm like, hey, you're like, you're fighting for your way back in, you know, and I have to give you credit for that. At least you're trying. You're welcome over here, though, Bullets. You know, you can come over here. You're not banned from here. Well, these guys try and tie me out or stuff like that, but just be nice, be good. Don't dox anyone. Don't dox Angie. Don't dox Red. Don't dox me. You know, and you'll be in good shape. Good to see you there, Angie in the house. Angie says, my next purchase for my channel is a tracking tripod. A tracking tripod. Oh, yeah, I've seen those where you can put your phone on it and then mate it up to your phone and then somehow get your phone to track where you're walking in front of it. Yeah. So that would be cool. Yeah, he did. Well, he said my real first name. He was bugging me by saying my real first name. Put it that way. You didn't notice it because most people don't even notice when I get doxxed. But believe me, when somebody doxes me, I know when they're doxing me. I know, and you know when you do that, you're actually bullying the person. If I say to you, please don't use my real first name, last name, phone number or whatever, I mean it. You know, it's not nice. And if you do that, well, it's like bullying me, you know, and nobody feels good when they're bullied. It's not your fault, Canada RV. You didn't know. And I never complained about it in your chat. I didn't say, hey, and plus you gave me a wrench so I could have actually bashed Bullets in your chat if I really, really wanted to. But I decided to, number one, leave him alone, not time him out or ban him or do anything. Because then you would probably think that I was abusing the wrench in that case, right? You know what I mean? So in that case, no big deal. But yeah, like, you know, I don't care. Just call me by Tommy Temper. Right? I'm Tommy Temper on here and just leave it at that. That's good enough with me. And, you know, I don't care. People call me Tommy Temper even out on the street. You know, they go, hey, Tommy Temper. You know, and they don't know my real name. They don't care. And I don't care. So there you go. So we've got one conservative against 100 liberals in here today. Got lots of liberals coming in here already, but this is one conservative against 100 liberals. That's what the name of the stream is here. And yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. We're missing our good friend. Where is she now? Lolo, where are you out there? We need you in there. You can be a good representative of the liberal side of things, I guess. I don't know. Hey, got Idnar in there, John in there, going up there, Canada RV, Door Knocker, good to see you. Door Knocker, Door Knocker. Drew Peanuts, what's you up to? JFK, good to see you. Let's see, who else? Edward Cam, which we saw you in there. Good to see you. Miss Angie is in here. It makes it more interesting, says Angie. Yeah, you got that right. Who else we got? We got Troy in here. Hey, Troy, good to see you. It's a bit windy. What? Bad? It's windy. Oh, that's not good. We got Rogan, Raging Against the Machine is in here. Hey, what's up? Good to see you. And let's see, who else did I miss in here? I'm just going back in the chat there to see if I missed anyone popping in here to say hi. But I think I got everyone. Looks pretty good. Yeah, so big day in Canada. This is the biggest thing happening here today, is our business with, hang on, let me adjust this freaking location of my camera here. Hang on. I have to put camera. Uh-oh. Oh, I pushed the wrong button and I eliminated me. No, I want to move me over here. So I'm a little more in the middle of the picture or of the scene or whatever you want to call it. Okay, let me lock that in there now. Locking it in. Okay, there we go. No, what happened is my camera actually moved, right? And then I moved where it was on the screen, and then I realized that I had to move my camera back, so then it put me back over there, so then I had to electronically move me back over here. So anyways, it's all bullshit. It's all fake. There's nothing real on the internet. It's just, that's not a bird on my shoulder. It's all fake. There's some birds flying around out there. Actually, what you're seeing behind me there is exactly what I'm seeing out of my eyes here in front of me. The window that you're looking at is right in front of me. I'm looking out the window. I can see that red truck down there. I can see a couple of people walking by, and it's a nice sunny day, and I should be out there IRL walking around, or maybe it's almost nice enough to get on my e-bike out there. It's looking nice out there. It's a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. The snow is melting. See what the temperature is out there. Temperature in Celsius is +5 Celsius. That would be in Fahrenheit 40 degrees. So 40. That's a hot day up here in Canada in the middle of winter. So we can't complain. We have a few more days, maybe about a month before spring comes. So this is kind of the time when the snow melts and you have these giant puddles in the streets, where what happens is the drains are iced up and the water melts, so it doesn't go down the drain, but it just sits there in a big giant pool. So then you have to go out there with your ice chopper and chop that ice where the drain is, so you can get it going down the drain. Well, we do it a little bit. We go out there. My son's like going out there with the ice choppers and doing stuff like that, which is kind of fun to do. You're giving up alcohol? Hey, well, yeah, I'm giving up bourbon, I guess. What can I say? I'm giving up bourbon and Bud Light. They're both American, and because of those taxes, we're going to have to stop drinking things, and we're going to have to stop buying things that have that exorbitant 25% nonsense tax on it, right? And why was anyone know why Trump was giving those taxes to Canada? Why is Trump taxing Canada 25%? Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Sandy's in the house. You qualify, Sandy. See there where I say one conservative against 100 liberals? You're part of the 100 liberals. I'll throw you in that basket, okay? Dean Wall is in there. There's Dean Wall. Yeah, well, Dean Wall, you went and called him a name. Don't, please. Like those are hurtful words. Like, and I know what you're going to say. Well, yeah, but it was deserved. But when you call someone things like a racist or a bigot or a misogynist or anything, those are really, really hurtful words. And I hate it when people call me those names, right? And people do. They absolutely do. But the people that are calling those names have no clue at how hurtful it is to call people like that. Like, really, honestly, like, do people call you those names? Really, do they? They probably don't, right? And if they don't call you those names, then you don't understand how hurtful it is, right? So it's just not nice to call people any names whatsoever. You should kind of, remember in the schoolyard, it used to be, saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Yeah, that's because the kids were calling people names all the time, right? And now with the left, with the liberals of the world wanting to be equality, to have equality with you, equality with me, equality with the sexes, equality with every religion is okay. Everybody's okay. But let's face it, nobody's perfect in this world. So have a little bit of consideration for other people, that they're not exactly the same as you. And just because they're not, just because you don't like what they do or what they say, that doesn't give you the right to arbitrarily go out and start calling them names and start bullying them, because that's really what you're doing. And you guys don't realize that when you stand on the corner calling somebody a racist, you're the bad guy. don't you have anything better to do? You know, like what? Do you wake up in the morning? And I got clipped on this one. Do you wake up in the morning and wonder who you're going to call a racist today? You know, like I don't do that. I'm just, that's not me. I don't call people names. I don't try and get into some kind of thing where I'm looking for every single thing that somebody else is doing. And when they do something that I don't like, I'm going to call them out for what they're doing. That's not, it's not me. It's not me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste my time doing that, you know. And for you guys out there doing that, it's, you know, you might want to do something else. It's not good. You're not helping anybody. You know, are you really helping that person that you're calling a name? You're just bullying them. They're not, then they end up not liking you. They hate you. They ban you. And what does that end up? Does it end up that you really solved anything or did anything to make the world a better place? Not likely. Leo! Hey, there's Leo again. Check out Leo's channel. Hey, Leo, drop your link there. Type the word link in there, Leo. And check out Leo's channel. He's been doing some videos and stuff there. Was doing some lives, going out to protests and stuff like that. So check out Leo's channel there. He's trying to get it going there. Good to see you in there, Leo. Edward says, don't listen to what Trump says. Just watch what he does, yeah, and fill in the unknowns yourself. Yeah. Okay, well, let me tell you what Trump is doing. And I've said this before. You have to watch Trump, and you have to understand Trump. You guys were laughing, saying, yeah, Tommy, you know about Trump there because you read his book, Art of the Deal. What the hell kind of a deals is he making now? Well, you know, Trump is, you know, put it this way. People that excel in life get there because they have some intelligence. Would you not agree with that? You have to be at least half intelligent to make it in life, right? If you don't make it in life, well, you might not be all that intelligent, okay? So that would be the first thing. Now, is Trump smart? Well, yes, he is smart. But, you know, does he mess up? Well, yeah, he does mess up. He's human, just like anybody else is. And, you know, of course, when you're at the top of the pinnacle, you're going to get criticized like crazy. Hey, Bullets, good to see you. Nice to see you there, Bullets. Don't dox me in my channel, though, please. and mods, leave Bullets alone. And Bullets, don't dox anybody. Just don't dox anybody, and you won't get timed out or anything else, okay? So don't get banned today. Well, yeah, but Bullets, you're the master of your own demise. If you piss somebody off, you might get banned or turfed or timed out or something. That's just the way it works, you know. So, you know, I'm not going to watch what you say. I'm not going to watch every single thing you say, but don't piss off somebody that has a wrench, because when you do that, you get booted or timed out or whatever. Idnar, positive vibes. Yeah, that's what we want. Betty White, yeah, good to see you. Charles Clark, your background looks like a painting today. Yeah, it's actually my window outside. You can see the bird is eating some food out there. It's looking good. But anyways, getting back to Trump, my whole thought process on Trump is his main goal is make America great again. Okay, so think about that. Making America great again. The number one thing that you have to do, which has gone wrong, drastically wrong, since Nixon, which is the jobs. Since Nixon shook the hand with China and said, yeah, let's sell products. We'll sell shit to you and you sell shit to us, right? Since Nixon. And when that happened, it was like, it was Chinese products coming into the States like crazy and into Canada, you know, and in that direction, right? Very little product going into China, but everything coming into the States. And where you were manufacturing Zenith televisions, for example, in the United States, all of a sudden the Chinese TVs started flooding into the market, undercutting the prices of what they could manufacture Zenith TVs in the United States, and they took over the market. Zenith had to go broke, go bust, whatever, because they couldn't compete. And the cheap Chinese stuff, because they had cheap labor, started to flood in, okay? And all of a sudden, you weren't producing socks in America, you're not producing shirts in America, no clothing is being produced, it's all being shipped in from China, right? Why? because they've got lower labor rates. When you're paying a guy $2 an hour in China compared to $20 an hour in the States, where would you produce the product? If you were thinking of opening up a company to manufacture something, would you open it in the States or would you open it in China? Well, of course. So why do you think Apple and all the rest of the manufacturers all jumped ship from America over to China and to other countries, India, and you name it, because the labor rates are cheaper, and that's all there is to it. Now, there's only really, in my mind, one way to fight cheap labor, because really, you can't just go, well, we'll have open borders and free flow of products within an economy where you have such a disparaging difference in labor rates. So the only thing that you can do, well, maybe there's other things, but one of the things that you can do is to put tariffs in place against those countries. So, for example, in my mind, absolutely, the United States should have tariffs against China. And the tariffs that they should have against China should not just be a minimalistic little 10%. Man, if there's any country where you should have 25% tariffs, it should be China, because they're the ones that are stealing all your jobs. All the American jobs move to the United States. Apple jobs, even with the vehicles and stuff like that. So now you've had to do such extraordinary things like put a 100% tariff against Chinese vehicles. Did you know that Trump did that? Did you know that? You don't hardly hear about that. You heard about it when he first did it. But do you hear about that now? Do you know that there is a 100% tariff against Chinese cars coming into the United States? Did you know that? And why is that? Why would that be? Why would that be? Right? So if you think that free trade is such a good deal and you should have free trade, why the hell did the States put a 100% tariff against electric vehicles coming from China? Right? Yeah, well, the reason is that you've got Tesla being produced in the States and they're going to lose their shirt. Right? You won't be able to sell any electric Teslas if you can buy a Chinese vehicle for like $24,000, and meanwhile a Tesla is $50,000. Right? So what do? You increase the tax 100%. So now that $24,000 vehicle is $48,000. Oh, now the $50,000 Tesla can compete against that. Right? So that's what ended up happening. With that. And believe me, I think that you should have higher tariffs in the States against China, because that's where both in Canada and in the States, we're being taken advantage of by being flooded with those low-cost products coming from China. And really, we should try and manufacture more products within our own countries. In the States, you got to make shirts and socks and clothing and everything else in the States. Bring those jobs back home. Vehicles back home. Electronics back home. Apple phones, why the hell aren't you manufacturing Apple phones in the States? Why are they manufacturing them in China? Because it's cheaper. Because the companies, they only work off of one thing, and that's profit, right? However you can operate your company in order to produce the most profits, that's what you're absolutely going to do. And that's what companies do. And that's only natural. I don't know if you've ever operated a company or had anything to do with a company, but obviously, if you have shareholders, the vested interest is with your company to service the shareholders, which they're the ones that put the money into the company, and they expect a return on their money. And if you don't give them a return on their money, guess what? They're going to pull their money out, and you're not going to have a company anymore. So, number one, your company has to be making some money, and you have to be able to be making enough money to pay your shareholders. And if you're in a situation where your labor is so expensive that you can't compete against those Chinese products coming in, then you're not making enough money for the shareholders and you go bankrupt, right? The whole thing goes tits up. And that's what happened to a lot of companies, an awful lot. And all that Trump is trying to do is he's thinking about the problem since the 1970s or whatever. because he's been, shaking hands with politicians and that, and just watching what's going on. But now he says, okay, we have a chance to improve the country. And really, that's all he's trying to do. He's not trying to be an idiot. He's not trying to be a bad guy. He's just trying to make America great again. And one of the ways of doing that, of course, is to put tariffs up, because the tariffs bring jobs back home. That's what the tariffs are, bringing jobs back home. The tariffs are not intended to harm Canada. Will the tariffs harm Canada? Absolutely. Will the tariffs harm Mexico? Absolutely. But you know what? In order to make America great, you have to put the tariffs in, which is going to cause harm to the countries that you're putting the tariffs up against. And that is just normal, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way it works. That's the way the economy works, right? And if you don't like it, well, suck it up. You voted for Trump. You voted for him. Yeah, I didn't vote for him. I like Trump. I knew that Trump would do something like that against Canada, for sure. But in my mind, I know that Trump is a great guy that I should look up to and respect, and think that why the hell don't we have somebody like Trump in Canada here? Well, in fact, Paul Revere is to some degree like Trump. You know, he stands up and says, "I'm not MAGA," which of course he's not. He's Canadian, but he is Canada first, which is akin to make Canada great again. So at least Paul Revere will do a job 100% better than Trudeau. So we're looking forward for Paul Revere. Everyone says I say his name wrong, whatever, but my way of saying his name. But anyways, he's our best bet in Canada, so that should be good. And Trump is apparently doing a good job in the States there, because he's bringing the jobs back. What he wants to do is, if hey, unfortunately, we're collateral damage. Canada is collateral damage for making America great again, right? Because what you're doing is you're putting up the tariffs, so you're going to bring those jobs out of Canada back into the States. Put up tariffs to China, bring the jobs back from China, start producing those phones in the States. For example, where you have car parts being manufactured in Canada, why shouldn't those car parts be manufactured in the States? That's what Trump is saying. So put up the tariffs, and now those companies that are manufacturing the car parts are going to have to move back into the States, so that the car is 100% manufactured in the States without having to get parts from another country. So we'll see how well that works. We've got other stuff happening, like Ontario saying that Ontario Liquor Board saying they're no longer buying American liquor from anywhere in the States. In other words, the whole province of Ontario, which buys probably over $1 billion worth of American liquor per year, and they are just saying, no, we're cutting off ties to you, and we're not buying any more American liquor. Wow. Think about how hard that is going to hurt all of the liquor companies in the States there. That is going to be very, very, very hurtful. They're not, let's face it, they're going to have to lay off people because they're not going to be producing as much or selling it as much. That's all that is. So what's going to happen? Well, we're going to be drinking more Canadian booze. Hey, forget about the American booze. I'm not drinking Bud Light anymore. Forget it. I don't want to drink Bud Light. Throw that Bud Light away. Yeah, we're going to be drinking Crown Royal and, some blue. We'll have a can of Blue or something, or Pilsner, or, some good old Canadian beer. And there's lots to choose from. Hey, Hot Damn, good to see you. I saw you were live there today. Hot Damn, check out Hot Damn Lane's Crafting. I saw you're live today, but I was just sliding by there, getting my stream ready, so I didn't have a chance to say hi, but thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Got Deb's Crazy Daily in there. Tommy, it just shows how many Canadians drink. Yeah, exactly. We're all a bunch of alcoholics, I think. Just go look at that guy. What's his name there? I can't think of his name now. Who sits there and drinks all bloody day long on his channel, and people donate to him to get drunk all day. Anyways, you've got people like that. Yeah, that's a true Canadian like that, But I don't really drink all that much, so, I don't know. But I guess, hey, but what's happening is Trump is forcing Canadians to look closely at the product to say, where is it made? Is it made in Canada? Okay, I'll buy it. And if two products are sitting there and one is made in Canada, one is the States, he's forcing us to buy Canadian, which, I don't know. Maybe Trump should have been a little bit nicer to Canada. But on the other hand, if you want to pull all the jobs back to the States, you got to put the tariffs up. But the tariffs got nothing to do with fentanyl and the rest of that crap, because that's we're looking after those problems with fentanyl and the terrorists. He's really put the prod to Trudeau, and Trudeau is now spending millions, whatever, billions or whatever. No, not billions, but millions and millions more on airplanes and manpower and everything to protect our border. And they're going to put in more checks to make sure that those terrorists don't get into Canada, because the terrorists are coming into Canada and then they're going into the States. The terrorists are not, born in Canada, but they're arriving here and then using Canada as a route into the States and going in through whatever, over the border or something like that, over the farmland, right? Stuff like that. If only Tommy thought garden gnomes were hot. Yeah. Exactly. Sorry if I can't read, or I'm not reading the chat here all the time. Drink Gretzky's Irish Cream. Oh, wow. Yeah, Gretzky. Yeah. Oh, they put up a sign there. I was going to go down there. Now, they changed the McDonald's in Edmonton here. Funny, because our hockey player is McDavid, right? A very famous, very good hockey player. In fact, he actually scored that last goal on the Canadian game where we won that game. So that's why McDonald's down the road from where I live here changed the sign to say McDavid's. So you probably saw those pictures of McDavid's all over the internet. Well, apparently they changed that sign for 1 month. Only for 1 month it's going to be McDavid's. So they're going to change it back to McDonald's. And I was thinking about that because I was looking at the signs there and I'm going, holy shit, it must have cost them about $10,000 to change that sign. Because it was the whole big giant sign where they changed it to McDavid's. They had a big truck there. They had to take the McDonald's sign down and put up the McDavid's sign on both sides of the thing. So I'm thinking at least they spent $10,000 on that. And they did the same thing at another McDonald's somewhere in Eastern Canada. And but you know what? They probably got more like about a couple $100,000 worth of free advertising from courtesy of social media, from people posting pictures of those things all over the place. So, like stuff like that, McDonald's is going, yeah, that's money well spent because, we only spent $10,000 or whatever to get $100,000 worth of free advertising. So, yeah, it's working out pretty good. Tommy, why are you allowing this? That's funny because I can't, you think that I'm reading the chat while I'm talking, but when you do these things, my mind is on my mind. My mind is not on the chat. My mind is on you, who's listening to me, right? But meanwhile, Betty White is saying, Tommy, why are you allowing this? And you know what? What am I allowing? I don't even have a clue. Who said what? What are the trolls up to? It's the trolls. And if there's anyone with a wrench out there and knows what Betty is saying, and there's something going on, maybe somebody needs a timeout, right? Who needs a timeout there, Betty? Who needs a timeout, or what's happening? Who's allowing what? I don't know what's going on, and I don't know that I want to go back in the chat to find out what's going on. But I'll bet that bullets and barbecue probably has something to do with it. I'll almost bet that that's the case. So tell me, what should we do, Betty White? What am I allowing, and what do we need to do? Who needs a timeout? Tell me who needs a timeout, and we'll look closer at that. There, Bullet says you allowed me to be doxxed. Come on, you guys, Bullets. What's this about the doxing thing? Just quit doxing. Don't dox anybody else, and other people won't dox you. That's how it works. That's how it works. So we're in this situation now where we've got the tariffs have come on. So now we have 25% tariffs on Canadian goods. So what does that mean if you're an American? If you're an American, that means if you want to buy a product that's manufactured or that somehow comes through Canada to get to you, it's going to cost 25% more for that product. Not a good situation. Not a good situation at all. And what does that mean for Canadians? Well, what that means is that if you're manufacturing a product in Canada, then Americans are going to have to pay 25% more for it. So they might not buy your product. They might buy American. So guess what? You're going to lose money. You might even go broke if you lose that much money. If that much of your market would normally be going down to the States of what you're selling, and now it's 25% more expensive for anyone down there. Holy shit. You're like going out of business quick. 12th man, good to see you. We got Miss Angie in there. Charles Clark. Leo is in there. Hey, we got Roy in there. Roy, good to see ya. Hey, and I met your friend, your good friend there that you were streaming with. Geez, I'm racking my brain, but he's got a kind of a unique name, but his name of his stream doesn't come to my mind. But anyways, thanks a lot for introducing me to your buddy there. And I'll be watching him because it seems like he likes to do the same thing as you, which is kind of walk around doing some IRL type stuff. So that's good that I ran into you guys doing that collab there. You should do more of that kind of stuff, That actually is good for streamers, when you collab with somebody else, because you get a chance for his viewers to sub up to you and your viewers to sub up to him, and it grows both channels, Everybody benefits from that kind of stuff. But nice to see you doing stuff like that. Good to see you there, 12th man, coming in from Alaska. You don't drink Canadian beer up there, do you? Well, you're going to be paying 25% more. Probably not. Probably drink Bud Light or something like that. Please restream me this evening for Mardi Gras in San Francisco. Hey, I will if I'm streaming long, or if I go again or whatever. I don't know what I'm planning. Because I've got 2 kids coming home from school here this afternoon, so I think we might do a little bit of something, but then after that, we'll be back. So yeah, absolutely. If you're going to be out there, we'll definitely give you a bump up there. And but drop your channel link here right now, Roy. Drop your link right now so that people can sub up to you that don't know you. Check out Roy's channel. Roy is San Francisco. He likes to go boots on the ground, walking around there, IRL streaming. Great views of the ocean out there. Shows you some of the ocean parks and the views and the highlight points and stuff like that. I really love watching Roy's streams there. And music and stuff like that too. Once in a while, you're into that kind of more eclectic type folk music and stuff like that. Some, it's kind of strange stuff if you're not into it, I guess. But I find, eclectic type stuff kind of interesting. I was always into going to places like the Hovel, where these weird bands would show up and play folk music and all kind of stuff. So yeah, I was kind of into that back in the old days. These days, though, I don't go too much out to bars anymore. But check out Roy's channel there in the house. Good to see you, Roy. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. So with the Trump deal, He's put up to 25% tariffs. We're in Canada here now, suffering from anything that we buy being a lot more expensive. And believe me, it's tough enough to live here. It is. Now think about it. Oranges, for example. We don't produce oranges in Canada. We have to buy our oranges from the States. But there's other countries in South America, like I don't know, I forget what country it was now, but one of the countries in South America also produces oranges, and they ship them into Canada. So, now you're going to see a situation where we're probably going to have to be buying those South American oranges instead of the ones grown in Florida, so that's going to hurt the growers in Florida because their market will be reduced in Canada. The stores won't be buying as many American oranges, obviously, because if I have 2 oranges sitting there, one of them is South American and one of them is American, and the South American is 25% cheaper, what do you think the person in the store is going to buy? They're going to buy the cheaper orange. So all of a sudden, the people that are running the stores, it's not rocket science. They're going to go, well, we're just going to stop buying American oranges, and we're just going to buy them from some other country. And the same thing with lots and lots and lots of things. So in one way, it's great if you're an American because you're going to have more jobs and it's going to be better for you in the long run. Initially, it's going to be hurting because you're not going to be selling as many oranges to Canada, but you're going to be bringing the jobs back. The jobs that are in Canada, you're going to be bringing them back to the States. So, for example, automotive. If you're producing widgets for the automobile factory or automobile industry in Canada, well, now you're going to say, why not just move that factory into the States and just make that a widget in the States, and you don't have to pay the 25% tax on it. Like Ford was saying, there are some things, some pieces, some parts of vehicles on that where you have them, part of it is produced in the States, then it's shipped to Canada, then it's refurbished or worked on or added to or whatever, and then it's shipped back to the States, and it could even make even one more pass back and forth. So each time it crosses the border, you're going to be dinged 25% tax on that item. So how the hell is that going to work? I don't know. But those parts are going to be so expensive that you're going to have to end up shutting down the factory in Canada and moving it to the States. And in fact, that's really what Trump wants. Trump does want that. And that brings the jobs back home. All of it is going to hurt Mexico. It's going to hurt Canada. It's going to hurt China. A lot of countries are going to be hurt, whoever has these tariffs. And it's going to be hurtful for you in the short term, only for the short term, because you're going to pay more for products from other countries in the States. But don't worry about it. Eventually, those products that you're paying more for will be manufactured in the States. So you'll actually be paying cheaper for them when they're manufactured in the States, right? Can you see that? Well, maybe not. Especially if it's being produced in China for $2 an hour, and now you have to produce that same a widget in the States at $20 an hour. Yeah, you won't be paying the same price for the widget. You'll be paying more for it, but you will have more jobs, right? And really, all you want is jobs. You want to make sure that everyone in your country has a good job and making good money. And yeah, if stuff costs a little bit more, well, I guess that's part of the. You got to bite the bullet, part of the price of bringing the jobs back home. But it's a tough situation for Canada. We're hurting. We're really going to be hurting bad here, and we're living out in the snowbank there, and it's not a great situation. We're looking for some kind of a solution to this problem. Now, the other problem is that you have some of the leaders of some of the provinces in Canada are fighting back against this tariff. And one in particular is Ford, where Ford has come out and said, number one, he's no longer buying any alcohol from the United States for the Ontario Liquor Control Board. And they're the ones that sell the liquor to any kind of a store or bar or anything else in the province of Ontario. So they're purchasing $1 billion worth of booze a year from the States. They're not, it's not like they're saying, well, we're going to tariff you 25% because you tariffed us 25%. No, they're saying we're not going to buy any of your products, zero of your product. That's not a tariff. That's a ban. That's like a boycott. That's like, screw you. You do this to us, and we're going to nail you hard any way that we can, And he's doing that. He's pissed off. Ford is really pissed off. So that's what Trump has done. He has pissed off so many of these people that are running the show here in Canada. And remember, a lot of people are loose screw in that they really don't get it. They don't understand Trump at all. And all they're doing is they're just taking akin to taking a gun and just firing back at him right away, In fact, I don't know, somebody was talking about a nuclear thing going on. Oh, yeah, I think it was Freeland or something that said, yeah, we'll just team up with Russia and use their nukes against the States or something like that. I don't quote me on that. But there's some really stupid thing that she said, and that's what these politicians are doing. They're just starting to act and say things that are really stupid, that even I'm shaking my head and I'm going, wow, if I was that person and if I was a person in power, I would be a little bit, hold my tongue a little more on the things that I said. And I wouldn't, and the last thing that I would do would be bash Trump, And you know what? They're doing that. These politicians in Canada are bashing Trump like crazy. And you know, what do you think Trump is going to be thinking when he sees that? You know, you bash somebody, they're not going to be your friend. They're not going to do good things for you. They're not going to want to deal with you. They're not going to want to make a deal with you. They're not going to want to do anything with you. And, you know, Trudeau, first of all, alienated Trump. You know that. You know that Trump does not like feminist Trudeau. You know, he's not somebody that likes genderism and all the rest of that crap. And Trudeau is like, well, he may as well, you know, be wearing a rainbow on his shoulder there 24 hours a day. Because, you know, Trump doesn't like the guy because he's a feminist. I would think that, like, right now. I don't know if that's true or not. But for whatever reason, Trump does not like Trudeau, right? We know that for a fact. So is he going to go, oh, yeah, Canada's a great place, and I like Trudeau, and, yeah, let's just make peace with them? No. He's like, yeah, I don't like Trudeau. He hasn't, you know, he's said stuff about me after the fact, you know, to disrespect me, which in fact has happened. So now Trump is like on the offensive. He's not defensive. He's offensive. Offensive, where he's like, okay, Canada, Trudeau, you little shit, I'll pay you back for what you did, disrespecting me and all the rest of that crap. I will put this tariff on you, and we're going to bring those jobs back, you know. And of course, hey, the fentanyl is a good excuse for the tariffs, but it's just an excuse. That's all. The fentanyl thing, you know, hey, you know, we'll try and deal with it, and you'll never get rid of it. Let's face it, drugs are drugs are drugs, right? You never get rid of any drugs. All you can do is just minimize the amount that is out on your streets, right? But keep in mind that Trudeau did legalize open use of drugs on the streets of Canada. Okay, he did that, which in itself, when you legalize it and make it okay for people to do that, well, now you've got a ready and able group of people that need the drug. So what happens? Well, all these drug cartels bring all the drugs in, manufacture the fentanyl in Canada because there's a ready supply of people that are wanting it and need it and are addicted to it or whatever. Or it's easy. Bring it in. It's easy to addict the people, and the stuff is legal on the street anyway. So let's bring in just as much as possible because these guys are just eating it up. And in fact, they are. They're doing the bent a block from my house here. For God's sakes, it's like ridiculous. Why do you think I'm building these mobile shelters for the homeless? Yeah, because they're dying out there in the streets, and I'm witnessing them dying out there in the streets. Sure, they're hooked on dope and whatever, but they're still people. They're dying. They're dying out there in the streets, and it's ridiculous. And you know what? Nobody's really doing anything about it. So somebody has to do at least something, at least a little bit, at least that much, or whatever you can. Try and do something. But anyways, we're in the situation where Trudeau has disrespected Trump. Now we've got the tariffs that have come on to us, and you've got the provinces that are individually starting to attack the states in their own ways. And like I say, the way that Ontario did it was that they are Premier Ford said he's no longer buying American alcohol, and a lot of electricity comes from Ontario, and the electricity goes down to the States, and Ontario supplies a lot of electricity into the States. And I would imagine probably so does Quebec, because they have a lot of hydropower. In fact, they actually, in Ontario, they actually call electricity hydro, right? Because they have so much hydro-type electricity that they actually don't even call electricity anymore in Ontario. They call it hydro. You know, did you get your hydro bill? You know, it's like that kind of a thing. So they have so much electricity that they have an excess of electricity that they can ship their excess down to the States, which in fact they're doing. And Ford has said he wants to shut the electricity off to the United States. So what do you think about that? You know, what do you think about that? And if you're Trump and you caught wind of that, what do you think about that? Because if that does happen, if it does, I'm not saying it is going to happen. In fact, I don't know that Ford can arbitrarily, shut off the electricity, flick the switch, or do that. I think it involves more than that. I think it's more of a federal thing that they have to go through in order to accomplish the task. But if they do it and they do start limiting the electricity down to the states, then there's going to be big trouble, because then you're going to have the people that aren't going to have the electricity are going to start complaining. And if you want to see people complain, they will complain when they have blackouts and brownouts, and their fridge doesn't work and their furnace doesn't work and all kind of stuff like that. You're going to have people going, hey, someone died in a house or something because they didn't have any electricity. That when the people start screaming, when something like that, then you're going to see a situation where Trump has to somehow backpedal or do something to solve the problem, because that is going to be one hell of a big problem. So that is kind of, in my mind, the sort of the biggest thing that I saw happening today that is kind of a hurtful thing that could arise out of the whole tariff situation. And it's not good that something like that might happen, but what else can poor little Canada do? What can we do? What can we do about this tariff? We're like under the gun. And the other thing is that he has also said that a lot of nickel comes from Ontario, and nickel is used in a lot of different industries, in the auto industry, and also in the military complex. Nickel comes from Ontario, and probably I heard numbers like 90% of the nickel used in the States comes from Ontario. So once again, Premier Ford, because it comes from the province, has the ability to tax or to shut it off and say, nope, that's it. Today we're not selling any more of that. It's not being sold to the States anymore, or that it's going to be taxed at a certain amount or whatever. And of course, Trump has come out and said, oh, if you put up tariffs against you, we're just going to 100% tariff you for the same amount that you put up against us. So if Canada puts up a tariff against the States for something that they sell, Trump will retaliate by putting up exactly the same tariff against Canada for whatever. And of course, he's already got a 25% tax. I don't know how that's going to work. Let's say that we put up a 10% tax against your goods. Does that mean that now you're going to jump your tax in the States from 25% up to 35%? Is that how it's going to work? Like, how exactly is that going to work? So maybe the way is, okay, so in Canada, we're not going to put up tariffs against stuff in the States. We're just going to shut off your electricity, and we're going to stop selling stuff to you, okay? And let's see how that's going to work out for you. Not a good situation. Hang on. Got it. So, yeah, it's a, in trouble now. Let's see what we got here. Order form. What are we ordering now? T-shirts, pullover. What, the school? I got a form here now. They're selling T-shirts, pullover, hoodies, zipper hoodies, sweats, and whatever. So you can order some clothing from the school now, apparently, if you want it. Okay, we'll look at that. Hey, how's it going? Okay, let me just leave you for half a second here. I just want to talk to a few people that have arrived here. In the background, I will be right back in a second. Okay, we came back. Sorry about not putting on a track long enough there for my exit. But I guess the song is not that long. Just looking to see there's some people walking around out there. What the hell? Oh, they're right there on my screen. I was just seeing what those two people were doing there. They were looking around for something, for trouble. Got Mouth of the South, Cannabis Rex in there, Betty White. Good to see ya. Nice to see you today. Taylor is in there. Taylor, by the power of Ozempic. And Gray Skull. They have the power. Sounded good. Big D, how you doing? What are you up to? Our good friend, Big D. Always got something to say. What's that? Blockhead. I hope you got that message. I don't like Canadians playing the fool. Taylor is Elm. What? Is Taylor Elm? Elm! Taylor, why are you changing your name to Elm? Or, sorry, to Taylor from Elm. What am I thinking? I'm thinking backwards. What am I? Dyslexic today. I don't know what's going on. What's with all the bans today? Butternuts. Who's got banned? I didn't ban anybody today. I have not banned anyone. Okay, so nobody ban anybody. Okay, if you're a mod in here, don't ban anybody. Charlie Cheswick, cat, how dumb. Some believe that, what? You're going to be the 51st state? Yeah. No way. We're not going to be the 51st state. It is not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not happening. Trump would like to see it happen. Alberta, a lot of people in Alberta where I live here would like Alberta to be the 51st state. We're absolutely 100% not being treated fairly within Canada. The province of Alberta is being mistreated by the federal government. Do you know how many billions of dollars leave Alberta every year to be distributed to other provinces in Canada? We're called a have province, and any other province that receives money from Alberta is a have not province. Guess which province is a have not province? Ontario is a have not province, believe it or not. Quebec is a have not province. They're such a poor province that they need money to survive from Alberta. Without Alberta money, Ontario would not survive. Quebec would not survive. And there's lots of other provinces out in the east that receive Alberta money. Pretty much all of Atlantic Canada. It's all a basket case. There's no jobs. The fish are running out. You can't fish anymore because they've closed down the fisheries. Everyone's on welfare. Well, how do you think you get welfare? You get welfare from Alberta, right? Because we're the have province, because we've got the industry here. We've got the wherewithal. We've got the people that are working in here. We've got grain. We've got beef. We've got vegetables and stuff in the summertime. We've got oil. We've got natural gas. We've got bitumen, the tar sands. Like, this is a going concern province here. Like, we've got a lot of stuff. Now hang on. But what about Ontario? They've got hydro, electricity. They've got nickel. They've got iron. They've got cobalt. They've got all kind of mines over there, right? And they've got tons and tons and tons of people that have immigrated into Ontario. But why the hell are they a have-not province where they have all of these things and all of these mines and all this production and factories making furniture and all kind of junk there? How does it end up that Ontario is such a have-not province? And it's such a have-not province. Why does Trudeau keep bringing more and more and more immigrants into places that are have-not provinces like Quebec and Ontario? You notice that all the immigrants coming in there, if they're have-not places that don't have enough money to survive without Alberta, why the hell are you bringing more people in there to make it even worse to live in that province? And what? And you're probably going to ask for more money from me over here in Alberta. So do you understand why this is such a delicate situation here? By the way, give us a thumbs up We only have 27 thumbs up. Let's see if we can bump that up to 60. We need more thumbs up on the stream. Hit that thumbs up. And yeah, but we're in a situation in Canada where Alberta is unfairly, unjustly being taken advantage of. And I've said that, and you know, I have heard that from the day that I was born. That I remember my father saying, "We're a have-not province. Our money is going to Ottawa and to Ontario and all the rest of those." You know what I mean? I've been hearing that all my life. So, you know, I have been brainwashed, I would have to say, you know, by people saying this to me over and over and over. So, yeah, that's why I'm spouting out the same rhetoric, because it is absolutely true. We are being taken advantage of. And you know what? Alberta, this fiscal period, Alberta ended up being, I don't know what the number was, but it was billions. It was like in the billions. You know, let's say $1 billion. $1 billion in debt. Okay? $1 billion as far as the budget. We're like down $1 billion. Now, why are we $1 billion down when we are sending billions and billions of dollars to other provinces in Canada, but yet our own government is $1 billion deficit in the year? Yeah, over $1 billion. Like, that's what doesn't make sense whatsoever. And you know how this whole thing comes about? It comes about by the federal government. The federal government says, this is how much money we're going to suck out of Alberta every year and send over to other countries. And you know what? Sitting here, I can't do a damn thing about it. Our premier can't do a damn thing about it. Nobody can do anything about it, because this is federation, and this is the just of living in a federation in this country where we have a dictatorship that is running the show and is pulling the strings and making sure that, hey, if you've got a little bit of money, we're going to suck as much as we want out of you, and we think that these guys don't have as much as you, so we're going to give them to them, even though they're not a have-not province. Is Ontario a have-not province? Of course, it's not a have-not province. It's the same thing with Quebec. Quebec can stand on its own two legs, and so can Ontario. You don't need Alberta to support you at all. So shame on you for sucking money out of our country here. Okay, let's see. We should bring some people onto a panel or something here. Hang on, let me put the StreamYard link up here. Stand by. Get it in here. Copy this. Let's see if we can get some people up on a panel. Maybe do a little bit of a panel here. One thing I hate doing about panels, though, is that you bring a bunch of people up and then I go, okay, I have to go to eat now. And then I have to shut the panel down. But let me see here if I can copy this link here. Pop it into here. And just go over to bring up my stream on YouTube. And I just want to pin that. Oops. Oh. I accidentally clicked it. No, I don't want to join StreamYard. I just want to pin that. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, come on up on the panel. If anyone wants to come up on the panel. I know it's not that much of a panel show here that I ever have here. Once in a while I have a panel. But if anyone wants to come up on the panel and discuss something, I'm the one conservative, you're the liberal. There's 100 liberals out there and one conservative. So if you want to battle it out here, come on up and we can talk about what's going on here or talk about something else. Up to you. It's up to you what you want to do, but we have to do something here because we are losing our audience. 49 people in the house, approximately. I don't know. Let me look down. Let's see how many people. 52. Okay. Wow. Why is that? Those numbers are weird. I'm showing 52 on YouTube, but on my StreamYard, I'm showing 42. That's weird. But yet we have 49 watching down here on this number. This is actually the number of viewers that I have on the stream. And then over here is the number of likes. There are these two numbers down below me here. So anyways, big deal. Okay, back to the chat here. Let's see, Big D says 10% tariffs to China. That should have woken a lot of people up Yep, that's good. I would actually, we'll bring Canada RV up here. I see him in the back there. The boogeyman gets paid well. Well, I think that the tariffs on China should have been 25%. I was actually astounded that he only gave tariffs of 10% to China. We got Canada RV in the house here. Hey, Canada RV, how you doing? Well, let's just sit in the background there. Meanwhile, we've got Mouth of the South in the house. Mouth of the South, what do you have to say about these tariffs things, Ernie? Are the tariffs going to affect you where you're working?
I'm not terrified yet. Oh, wait, I think I got.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Well, I'm just going to go in the back and bring your mic up here. Your mic is a little low.
I hear echoing.
No, you're good. You're good. You might hear a little echo, but you're okay.
Yeah, I'm not terrified yet.
You're not? Yeah, but what about you? You're in the manufacturing industry. Are you manufacturing anything that is being shipped to the States?
I work for an American company. The auto industry, I'm stuck right in the middle of it, Tommy.
Yeah, well, I know. That's what I mean. Well, are the things that you're producing at your factory, are they being shipped to the States?
Everything's being shipped to the States.
So, so 25% more on everything.
Yep.
Do you think that Trump thought that out? You know, he wants your factory across the border.
I've been working 12-hour shifts since my house arrest, November 29th. So.
Yeah, lots of work.
Nothing's changed here.
Well, yeah, but this tariff is like today. This is like today, and of course, what happens today is going to be like a month or two from now is when it's really going to hit hard, when people buy the stuff and then get the invoices and that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Well, tooling businesses that I'm in. We're doing stuff for 2028.
Oh wow, that much in the future. Holy. And if Trump wants to put the tariffs up to bring the factories back to the States, it's going to take a hell of a big effort to move your factory back to the States, I would think.
Yeah, contracts are signed. Right. We just did an Elon Musk deal for $12 million the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, is that people have to think about the contracts. Same thing where Ford wants to shut down electricity, for example. You've got contracts written in stone that have to be abided by, and if you start monkeying with that, well, there's going to be lawsuits all over the place.
Ford's so full of shit. Okay, it's coming out turban.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, just shut off mic there. Unless you want to talk, maybe something like that. Somebody's giving us an echo. Could be coming from RV. So, well, what about with what Ford said? I noted that Ford didn't say, I am going to shut off the power. He said, I'm going to look into shutting off the power, i.e. in that it seemed to be a federal thing that he's going to have to monkey with in order to shut off the power, which he's probably not going to be able to do.
He shuts off the power. Donald Trump will shut his lights. Okay. You don't cut the power to 1.5 million Americans. Okay, and not think of any repercussions.
There will be repercussions, absolutely, because Trump has said that if we put a tariff up against him for anything, well, he'll just hit us back with 100%, whatever that tariff is, back to us. So if we shut off something to him, he will retaliate. He absolutely will.
Well, it's just
careful.
Going to make a lot of people want to become the 51st.
Well, that's what he's really up to, is that he wants us to, he's not being unfriendly to us, but, like I was describing earlier, his method of madness is to bring the jobs back home. He wants your job that you have in the States. He wants that out of Canada and back to the States. That's really what he wants, doesn't he?
Well, you don't call somebody Hitler, a felon, a rapist, and then think he's your buddy and you want to do fucking business with him. What do you think Trump's going to do? He's going to stick his dick in your ass.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying that these politicians in Canada they're being disingenuous, to bash Trump. The last thing that you ever want to do with a guy like Trump is to bash him, because if he's the guy, it's like your boss, you bash your boss, what do you expect? You expect to get fired. You expect some kind of retribution to happen. And if he thinks he's the boss, which in fact he is, he's the boss of the freaking world. He's the pinnacle of the world. Everyone looks up to him. Even Putin looks up to him to go, whoa, what's Trump going to do next? I better be careful what I do, and you don't disrespect him. You don't.
You got podcasters out there like Rick Walker that every night he's fucking losing his mind, telling people to stand up. We're going to fight. It's 100% liberal, and they don't have the nuts to fucking fight. They're pussies.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If this 25% tariff sticks up, or he could even increase it more, and that would be even more of a reason for Canada to be the 51st state. Well, if you can't fight them, join them.
Exactly. Do what you got to do.
Hold on a second. So you two guys say we should all bend over and spread our ass cheeks or what?
You're echoing.
No, you're echoing. Mouth. It's on your side.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm not echoing.
Yeah, I shouldn't be echoing now. Oh, actually,
I don't even hear any echo at all. You're the guys that hear the echo.
Check your YouTube. Have you muted your YouTube?
Yeah, my YouTube's on pause. You're echoing too.
Hang on. Let me make sure. No, I don't have any YouTube turned on in the background. Hang on. Okay, is it echoing now? Because he shut his mic off now.
Hello? There's a delay.
Well, I hear you good. I think it's from your connection then, because his mic is shut off right now.
He's echoing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll jump off and then I'll come back on.
Okay, but you're not echoing online anyways. The stream going out to the internet is not echoing. So I think it's just within the StreamYard app.
Now?
No, you never were echoing. I don't hear any echo from either of you. Both sound good to me.
Most side.
Yeah. Well, and you have echo cancellation turned on. Both of you had echo cancellation turned on. So, but yeah, the best thing when you're doing StreamYard is to have headphones on so that your mic doesn't, or your speaker doesn't go into your microphone and get that loop going.
I have a headset on.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I don't know what's going on. It could have been his connection too. That his connection might have been with StreamYard messed up and then causing a bit of an echo. Yeah, so no, are we bending over? And no, we're not bending, but we're discussing the situation here. Like, what is obviously Trump wants Canada to join up with the United States, right? So in this instance, he's putting up tariffs, and the tariffs are designed to bring jobs back home and make Canadian products more expensive. And really, if we want to be on an equal playing field with the United States, maybe the best thing to do is to join up with the United States. That's really what we're saying here. We're not saying, yeah, I want to be American. No, we're just discussing what Trump is up to and what he's trying to do. And what do we do about it?
Well, we don't know what Trump is up to. You're just guessing.
We know. Well, I'm not guessing. He said he wants Canada to be the 51st state. We know that. That's the fact. And he's doing stuff to...
oh, yeah, I know that.
To get the goal.
And I'm not echoing that.
The goal is to acquire Canada, acquire Greenland, who knows what else. And the way to do it is to, number one, talk about doing it. And number two, do some things that are going to possibly result in it happening. And who knows what the number three is going to be. I don't know. What's step 3? Where he's going to watch us hurt. He's going to watch us sit here and hurt for a while, and then come back and go, well, okay, have you had enough already? Are you ready to join up? Let's start talking about it.
Yeah, but we shouldn't have to. We're our country, our own country. We don't have to be part of the United States just because Trump wants to, push his weight around his chest. No thanks.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind that the world is a globe. The world is a globe, and we're just human beings on this globe, right? And you could be living anywhere you want on this earth. Well, maybe not in China or whatever, but how it got divided up and how these countries got set up, it happened before we were born, right? We were born into the life that we're in here right now. But that's not to say that what we see can't be changed, right? Borders change all the time. Look at Trump said, hey, it's no longer the Gulf of Mexico. Now it's the Gulf of America. It changed overnight.
Well, yeah, he's doing a lot of change. A lot of change I agree with.
Yeah, you're echoing RV bad.
Tariffing us? No, it's not me, Mike. If you mute your mic, I guarantee I'm not going to echo. Mute your mic for a second.
Yeah, he's got echo cancellation turned on.
Okay, now it's not going to echo. It's you, mouth.
Okay, I'm going to jump off and look in the chat and see if he's echoing, guys.
Well, is he only... Yeah, but you're not going to solve it like that. Just, is he echoing only when he talks? Am I echoing?
You're not echoing. I am.
Oh, you're echoing. You hear you're echoing yourself.
So is RV.
Oh, okay.
When I
don't worry about it.
In the chat.
Okay. No problem. Unless you want to come up here and just say something, then just come up and say something, and then you can head back out again. Who we have in the chat there? We got Fry TV in the chat. Good to see you. Snafu is in there. Sean Little. Bob Cox is in there. Pop it in there. We got Brenda Bridge. K9 Gaming. All new in the chat there. Good to see you all. Save Baby Donkey. Says both echoing. Wow.
We're only both echoing. He's on. Because we're echoing through him.
Hang on a second. I wonder if it's because...
But you do have audio too, Tommy.
Hang on. Let me go in my settings. Hang on. I never looked at my settings. Once in a while, the audio gets changed. No, I'm coming in. Okay, you talk?
I'm good. There's no way I can be echoing.
Shit, it's my problem. Something went in the background and changed one of my settings in the stupid StreamYard here. Hang on. It's my fault. Sorry about that. I should have checked when you guys said that. I know this has happened to me once before where it changes the output, the speaker, from being my headphones, which I just changed it to now. It changed it to being going to my input. So it's backfeeding the audio. Okay, with that one little fix, that would have fixed the audio.
It ain't me, guys. I know how I put my fucking settings on, guys. It ain't me. It's probably good now.
Oh, yeah, it is good now. Yeah, and your audio is louder now, too, I noticed. So that's good. Yeah, sorry about that. StreamYard went in the background and went and monkeyed with the settings. They got changed by themselves. It went to a different input from my, or output rather, output to my head. I had it set up so StreamYard outputs only to my headphones. And it went and changed the input of my OBS software to backfeed in here. Got the sun coming in the window here now. And it's a nice day out there today. Until I woke up. It was nice until I woke up. And then all of a sudden we heard about those tariffs. And then all hell broke loose. And now we're hearing about power being shut off to the States from Ontario. And they're not buying booze anymore. We're just lucky that Alberta here, that our own Premier Smith has said that she is not going to raise the price of oil that is being shipped to the United States, and is trying to work with Trump to not put the tariffs on us. But guess what? She went and said that, and basically tried to work and be nice to Trump. Went down there and visited him, had meetings with him. Said, no way, no, we're not increasing the price of oil to the States. But it didn't make any difference. Trump still said, yeah, we're putting tariffs at 10% up on energy. So There you go.
Okay.
Sorry about
Do I
that.
sound
It was
better
my
now?
fault. You sound really good.
Yeah, it wasn't you, Mouth. It was Tommy.
Yeah. Sorry.
See? Told you it wasn't me. Told you.
Well, I never changed that setting. I know my software, but when software is a bitch because it does what it wants to do. It's some idiot programmer that figures out how it works. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm finding here, because where I'm at right here, Windsor, Ontario, you guys have the oil industry, we have the auto industry, all the way from Toronto down, right? We got fucking General Motors, we got Chryslers, we got Fords, we got the Mitsubishi plant, I think it is, in Ingersoll, Toyota. Okay, it's all right here. So I don't know I don't know what's to come, but it's not going to be good, right? For a lot of people.
Did you work with steel, Mouth? Don't you work with steel, Canadian steel?
It's funny because Baton Rouge, Michigan, okay, is where the foundries are for us, and they'll make the steel over there, the blocks to size, and they'll send them over here to get cut, right? So the foundry, okay, Hamilton, they're into sheeting, okay, they're not into the steel blocks and all that shit, right? Quebec, we get a lot of aluminum blocks from Quebec. They all come from Quebec, the aluminum, right? And we got shit tons of them, right? What aluminum's used for in our industry is for prototypes, right? And if it works, the prototype works, then they'll go to steel with it, right? So it's a lot faster to cut. It's a lot softer, right? And it's all about time, right? With aluminum. So
what do you think the ramifications are with this 25% tariff on your industry, your job, your company, where you're working?
Well, if we're hitting back with 25% and they're hitting us with 25%, really nothing changes. Everything goes up 25% both ways, right? So,
but we're not hitting them back at 25% because Trump has said that if Canada tries to hit them back with any kind of a tariff, he will hit us back with what exactly that tariff is that we're trying to put against them. So if you hit him with a 25% tax from Canada, he'll hit us back with a 50% tax.
We're boycotting, a lot of products.
Well, you can only boycott so much, RV, okay, because we're really a fucking importer of goods, okay. We're not so much exporters of fucking products that we make, okay. When it comes down to it, we go to Walmart and look on the shelves. Where's all that shit coming from? India and China.
What are you talking about? We export to the United States 135 billion a year.
Yeah,
we're an exporter.
Yeah, but it's for a lot of it's for the auto industry, right? In the oil and this and that, right?
It's for fertilizer too, potash, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Oil.
Yeah.
Minerals, like natural resources, but the products, the widgets that we buy or sell rather are going to be the automotive industry. What else do we sell?
Canada got caught with their fucking pants down as having one big trader, okay, and that was the United States. We've had years. We've had fucking plenty of years to get on board with other countries, and for some reason, I don't know if it was intimidation by America. Don't deal with these people. Don't deal with those people. Okay, we're stuck in the fucking middle of something that I've never even thought would ever happen. Okay, ever happen.
You might lose your job.
Well, I don't care. I'm fucking retired. I'll retire
United
anyway.
States partnering with Russia. That's a big problem.
Oh yeah,
it's because we're bordered with both of them.
But look at how many people your company employs. Like maybe you're not worried, but there's going to be a young guy, 30 years old, with a family working there that's going to lose his job.
A lot of people. The poor saps on the lines at Chrysler, Fords, and GM and all the auto industries here, that their job, all they do is put a bolt in a fucking vehicle, and that's their job. That's all they know how to do. They have no other fucking skills whatsoever but that, because they've been doing it for 25 fucking years, and all of a sudden they're kicked to the curb. What's going to happen is all our pensions are put in the hedge funds, okay? And that's what's going to collapse. Okay, we're going to lose our fucking pensions. We're going to lose a lot of shit, RSPs, okay, your TSFAs, okay, you're going to lose money like you've never seen before. If there's going to be a run on the fucking banks, it's going to be in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's not good. Not a good situation. And you know what? It's not like if somebody loses their job at your industry because the industry is moving to the States, it's not like there's going to be another place where you can work because where else is there? There's not another industry opening up that you can go get another job. It's like, wow, now you've got a whole bunch of people that are out of work with nowhere to work. And
I just paid off. Thank God, I just paid off my second fucking house 3 months ago. Paid it in cash. Here you go, fucking okay. So I'm not worried about that. But there's people out there right now in Ontario. I just seen a story done. 90%. It's up 90% defaults on mortgages in Ontario right now. 90%, guys. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, some of those are still coming up, though, Mel.
Yeah.
Coming up.
The default is this: people that haven't paid in more than 3 months their mortgages.
Yeah.
So
well, remember you had the problem with the interest rates went up, and then people renewed their mortgages, and they're stuck with high interest rates on the mortgage, and then they don't have enough money from their job. Food prices have gone up, utilities have gone up, and you don't have enough to service the mortgage.
Right. And there's a very high percentage that the mortgages are coming up due to be renewed, and they're not going to be able to renew them.
Are you still in the Kitchener area, RV?
I'm sorry. No, I'm out in Hanover now.
Okay. Well, the price of real estate, you know, you're here in Ontario, right? There's no fucking way that a house, okay, in Toronto should be worth fucking $1.5 million. An average house, okay? Not a new build.
Yeah, it's a property in Toronto, though. It's not so much the house.
It don't matter. People can't afford it, okay? And they never could afford it. And now people are getting stuck with the bill. I see a lot of foreclosures going to happen in the future very soon because people are just going to walk away. So fuck, enough's enough, right? But then where do you go from there? To a tent? Because
no, you go to a Tommy Temper homeless mobile shelter.
Yeah, one of those tiny homes in Toronto.
Yeah, just tow it behind your car.
Oh, yeah, behind your bicycle. Never mind, you don't own a car. This is the reset.
Yeah,
the big reset is happening, and we're witnessing it here right now, where you're not going to have a house because it's too expensive. You're not going to have a car because it's too expensive. You're not even going to have a freaking job. You're just going to be on welfare. Is that what the new reset is all about?
Well, it is.
Nothing and be happy.
And I thought guys like RV and everybody else are fucking conspiracy theorists when they started talking about the reset 3 fucking years ago. I'm going, now reset. I'm thinking to myself, but you guys were fucking right. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's coming, right?
Well, yeah, I remember when COVID was happening, I saw a post on Canada, what was it? The Canadian Bank, Canada Bank, where they had a page talking about the reset and how there's going to be a reset, and that they actually verified in my mind that the reset thing was actually a thing that the officials were even talking about.
100%.
Here's the thing that nobody's thinking about. Okay, Russia and the United States is aligning. Everyone is going against the United States and Russia. They're all alliances. What does that make us? World War III. That's what you guys aren't thinking about. It's coming.
Well,
it's here.
If you seen my video the other day that I did, Tommy, on Facebook Live, I said the ultimate goal here that Zelensky wants is our sons and daughters in a fucking battlefield in Ukraine. And 24 hours later, Zelensky he was in Britain speaking how he wanted our sons and daughters on a fucking battlefield. So I called a spade 24 hours before it even happened. Okay, that's the ultimate goal. They want us in this fucking war. And at 55 years old, if you think you're going to come and take my son off to some fucking foreign fucking country to fight your fucking bullshit, you better bring a lot of body bags because I'm ready to punch my ticket. Okay, and I will fucking kill whoever I got to fucking kill. My kid ain't going to the Ukraine.
We're in a war already. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
That's not happening.
It's going to happen. You don't think so, but it's going
they're already talking about it. Trudeau said
we're
today.
at war with Russia. They formed an alliance with Russia. We're at war because no one's going to accept Russia.
You know, you might be right. Yeah, because the UK, I heard that the UK is sending boots on the ground to Ukraine. So why wouldn't Canada be doing the same thing?
Well, the only reason Canada won't do it,
Turkey as well. Turkey's going to take China.
RV, the only reason Canada won't be putting boots on the ground is because we can't afford boots on our fucking soldiers. Okay, we're broke. We're fucking broken. It's no joke.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're either going to have to be a part of the United States, form an alliance, be part of the United States and Russia, or we're going to have to form an alliance with everyone else that's going against the United States and Russia. We're stuck in the middle, and we're bordered by both of them.
Yeah, they're not going to win.
You look at it, we're at a war.
You know,
why the hell is, I'm thinking, why the hell is Canada so broke? Why are we so broke?
Because they gave it all away. Okay, they gave it all away. We have the minerals if they get to it. Okay, we have the minerals we have more than $37 trillion in fucking minerals. And
how many mines does China own? Mouth. They own a lot of our mines.
They do.
China. Yeah,
they do. They own a lot of shit here.
So the money's not in Canada; it's going to China, not Canada.
Right. But the minerals, okay. Yeah. So we
buy a lot of.
You fuck China. We open up our own mines. Okay.
Yeah, we buy a lot of things from China. We send all of our money to China. We buy all of these widgets from China. That's all I see anywhere. Everything is made in China that's in Canada here. That's where all of our money is going. We're not making anything within our own country and reinvesting within Canada because we can go and buy something on the cheap from China.
Well, does
Amazon make anything or sell anything that's not made in China? In Amazon, look how big they are.
Right. I haven't bought a fucking thing from Walmart. I haven't stepped into Walmart in probably 5 or 6 years. Now, if people would have followed my lead, there would be no fucking Walmart. There'd be no Chinese fucking garbage because you wouldn't be buying it at Walmart, right? You'd be buying fucking Canadian-made fucking shit. Nobody wants to make shit here anymore. It's like, I don't know, we have the ingenuity, we have the technology, we got everything here, but nobody wants to put it forward. They don't want to put their money where their mouth is. I don't know why.
Too much mouth. It costs too much, and people don't want to pay it. When you can get it for a quarter of the price and buy 3 products for the same price we would sell one for.
That's going to haunt. That's going to come to haunt everybody.
Well, it's come to haunt us. It's come to haunt the USA. It's come to haunt everyone that's been doing business with China, which is almost the entire world.
Yep, and that's why China wants, or USA wants to break free of China, right? I don't blame them, but to put us in the middle of it, the whole reason we're at where we're at today is you called the guy a fucking Nazi, a rapist, this and that, everything in the fucking sun, and he became the president. Now he's coming to haunt you, right? And we're the victims at the end of the day. Okay, is the Canadian people. I stand with the Canadian people, but I'm not going to stand with the fucking.
What was the first thing that Trump did 8 years ago?
I can't stand with the government that created the problem.
8 years ago, the first thing he did when he got into office. Okay, this is not new.
I'll tell you what partially why I think we're in this problem. That piece of garbage, Trudeau. Like, look at what he's doing. He prorogued our parliament so that we couldn't even talk about what Trump was going to do to us.
We're under dictatorship at its finest.
That's right, and that's what Trump is trying to change.
Well, the only way Trump's going to change it over here is to arm the Canadian fucking people and let the Canadian people fucking battle it out.
Trudeau took all our guns away.
Well, that's what
we don't even have guns anymore.
The Americans would have to fucking arm us some way, somehow, right? And and get rid of the fucking the sewage. That's what we'll call it, because that's what they are. Okay,
it's like all the liberals do is they just disarm us, yell names at everybody so that everyone is pissed off at us, and then now we end up where we are. That's what's happened.
They legalize weed and then throw people in fucking jail for selling.
Legalize fentanyl.
Right?
Well, you legalize the weed so that you won't remember what the hell he's doing to you, But legalizing the fentanyl and doing that on the streets, that in itself caused part of the problem, because that's what Trump is complaining about. All that fentanyl coming into Canada, some of it's going to the States.
Isn't that only in BC though, Tommy? Isn't that just
exacerbated the whole thing by making it legal? And then the Chinese, let's set up labs in Canada. They have a going concern of users over there. Let's make sure they're all drugged up.
Well, it's easier to get
legalized in BC.
It's easier to get the drugs in the U.S. from Canada.
I don't think it is here in Ontario.
It's legal in Edmonton, right here. I can go walk outside of my door, and there's guys bent over, and I'll phone the police and say, do something, and they go, we can't, because City Hall tells us not to arrest users on the street. The cops tell me that.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not legal here in Ontario. It must just.
It's going to be the same thing in Ontario, where phone and see what they do with. Is there open use? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's legal in Ontario. They have the shooting galleries here in Ontario.
Yeah.
Okay,
what they call is they don't fine you if you openly use any kind of drug. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, it's harm reduction is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
I call it enabling.
But I thought we weren't doing that here, though, Mouth. I thought that.
Oh yeah, no.
We're only doing it in BC and Alberta, from what I understand.
Well,
and
look
Ontario.
at the one in Toronto. They opened up the shooting gallery under harm reduction, safe injection site. Some poor woman got fucking shot as a bystander walking down the street a fucking 100 feet from the place. Okay, that's why Ford says enough's enough, right? He wants to close them down, and I agree with Ford. These things should never have ever opened, right?
What we're doing in Alberta here is we're opening up treatment centers, and we're having what's called like a forced kind of medical treatment, right? Where you're going to grab the guy off the street and throw him into treatment.
I'm in my probation office today, okay, for one of my meetings, okay, and she says, "Oh, look at this guy here outside the office, Tommy. There's this guy. He's punching a fucking mailbox, and he's talking to himself and fucking just fucked right up." And she says, "It's so sad." I says, "The sad thing is exactly what you just said. They should be grabbing these people off the street, okay, and giving them fucking help. Okay, enough's enough." Okay,
Danielle Smith is doing that in Alberta.
Yeah,
she has there are centers for that, and now that is the only place in Canada that's doing it right now.
But
and of course the Liberals are going bonkers. The NDP is going bonkers here in Alberta. They're like, "Oh my God, we want these drug addicts to give the drugs and let them run around and rob and steal and rape and do everything." Wow, that's the Liberal way.
People. Right, but if you hear podcasters out there, they're talking shit about fucking Danielle Smith. She's a traitor. She's a Nazi. She's fucking. I've heard it all too about her. I love her, and you know what? I wish we had more fucking leaders like her. She's got more balls than any of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with what she's trying to do, and even with the oil industry and things like that. And she's one of the few premiers in Canada that is actually respecting Trump too. Give her credit.
Right. You don't hear her badmouthing Trump.
No,
right?
Not at all.
And
Ford, on the other hand, I didn't really like what he had to say to Trump. And really, all you're doing is Ford is pissing off Trump. That's all he's doing, which is not going to help the situation. You want him to say, this is what you want Trump to say. You want him to say, "Hey, Canada, great job on controlling the border. Great job on doing something about the drugs. I'm going to get rid of that 25% tariff." That's really what you want to hear Trump say. But he's not going to do that if you call him names.
Right. I don't think you could have thrown all you wanted at the border and fucking it was just a ruse anyways, clean up the border, this and that, right? He was going to do what he was going to do anyways. I'll tell you one thing, anybody that fucking discounts Trump, his word is bond.
Well, you should practice what you're preaching there at a beautiful day, because we're not the one bullying him. Trump is.
Rusty says Trump doesn't respect Smith, Danielle Smith. I don't know. I don't know about that. I have no idea.
Well, he did give her the fucking time. The time of day.
He did. Yeah, he did. He talked with her and whatever.
That's the problem with Ford. Like, we're being bullied by Trump. But you do this or else. And Canadians aren't going to take that, on their freaking knees. We're not.
If you're bullied, it's just like us on the internet here. When you're bullied by somebody, what do? Sit back and take it, or do you fight back?
Well, don't call the guy names, and you won't get fucking bullied, right?
Well, I don't think he did call any names.
For the last 8 fucking years, they've been calling him fucking names. He just said
that Trump is bullying, and that's exactly how I see it. Trump is bullying.
For the last 8 years, they've been calling the fucking guy everything under the fucking sun. Trump, this, that, golden shower.
I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now, though.
We're talking about
what's happened before.
We're talking about fucking 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Okay, now Ford has his head so far in the liberal.
Tell me once that anyone said, other than maybe Pierre Poilievre or in the House or the Trudeau government. Tell me once that Ford said anything bad. But Ford was all for Trump. So what are you talking about 3 months ago?
Well, you know what? He was. I think what happened is the Liberals got a jacket on fucking on Ford, and I can tell you what it is. Okay, in his Regent Park fucking days of him selling dope, and his sister being a junkie, Kathy, okay, and his brother being a crackhead, Rob Ford, okay, they got a jacket on fucking, they have something on Ford, 100%.
Well,
okay?
of course, WF, we know that. Okay,
Well,
he's only pretending. He's half liberal. He's working for them.
Right. Well, don't
we
call
know
yourself
that,
a conservative.
We know that.
Right. So he's part of that fucking clan, and Trump sees it. Okay. Trump sees that fucking Ford is not a conservative. He's a fucking liberal dummy. Okay.
Yeah. We know that.
Well, that's what he's getting now, right? Because Ford don't want to deal with fucking, or Trump don't want to deal with liberals. Period. Okay. You know,
what he said.
He's done with the woke. He's done with the woke.
That's right. That's right. If you're woke, Trump is like throwing you under the bus. You're right. He doesn't want to even hear from you. That's why he doesn't like Trudeau.
Bad, though. He didn't say anything bad today. He's just defending. He's defending. He's not going to get down on his knees and
but
you know what, for Trump.
It's one thing being diplomatic. You don't say, "I'm going to shut your power off" with a smile on my face.
No.
I'm calling your bullshit.
That's over the top. You can't do that.
I'm calling your bullshit, Ford. Then he shouldn't open his fucking mouth if he can't do that. It makes it worse. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. I know. I caught that too because I wanted to hear him say, "I am going to shut the power off," which he didn't say that. He just made a threat that he was going to look into it, which, like I said, I think that there's some federal legislation or something in place there with regards to maybe treaties or something with the flow of energy across the border. So it's a little bit more than what Ford thinks, I think.
Well, when he said, me and my good friend Larry Curley and fucking Mo over in fucking Saskatchewan, he's got the uranium, and the uranium comes from Saskatchewan to Port Hope, Ontario, to be fucking whatever, and then processed and enriched in the U.S. He put that out there, so he's throwing, we're going to sell uranium on the open fucking market. I don't fucking think so. Okay, if you know anything about uranium, that's the key element to fucking nuclear weapons. So you think China's going to buy the uranium? America's going to let China buy the uranium in fucking Iran and all? I don't think so. So he should even open his.
It might not be U.S.'s choice anymore. If this war happens and everybody aligns against the United States, including us, which that's where it looks like we're doing right now.
Yeah,
we're fighting against. We're aligning with everyone else.
What are we fighting
against
with?
USA.
What are we fighting with? Our mouths? Because we have no weapons.
No.
Yeah.
With China,
I thought a long time ago Canada should have developed the atomic bomb. Honestly, we have the technology, we have the engineering, we have everything, we have the ability. Why the hell didn't Canada develop the atomic bomb? Then we could just say to the States, you know what? You better just relax a little bit because we've got a bomb too, and we could blow up New York or whatever. So just relax.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, the United States is not the only person that can protect us. There's a lot of other countries out there that can easily form alliances with Canada, that we can easily go up against the United States. And
no, you can't go up against the United States. What are you going to? Who do you want to partner with? Russia or China? You got two choices.
RV, that's ridiculous. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why it's fucking ridiculous. I'm going to tell you why it's ridiculous.
Russia and the United States.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why it's ridiculous what you're saying. There's so many dual citizens in Canada. Okay, I got fucking relatives that are American, that are fucking born in America. They're my fucking uncles. They're my cousins.
Think about it.
They're going to point fucking guns at my fucking brothers and my cousins?
Turkey,
come on.
Paris, EU, China. Now, you can talk about Iran. You can talk about all of the Eastern countries would also sign on to this. So the
Commonwealth. How about the Commonwealth? Any Commonwealth country should sign on and help protect Canada. That's what the Commonwealth is for.
It is possible.
If they want to protect us, start buying our fucking goods. Where have they been?
I don't know. You know what? I feel after this, I kind of feel disillusioned. I feel like, wow, this is a bad situation.
I'm not going to point weapons.
To think about because you're
I'm not going to point weapons at my fucking bloodline that are living in the United States. That's not going to happen.
Whether we join the United States or whether we join the rest of the world to go against the United States and Russia, we're at war. There's no
we're royally fucked.
Yeah, we're in a non-kinetic war for sure.
But that's the thing; it's going to turn.
It's a what do you call it? A psychological war here at the moment. But it's also a economic war. He's gotten us into an economic war. This is what it is.
Because if it was a kinetic war, I'd be shifting from fucking making tools to bombs, and I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody, and we're in the tooling capital of the fucking world right here. Okay, where I'm at, and nobody's making guns, nobody's making grenades, nobody's making bombs. Okay, that's not happening. We're still making auto parts, right? So, fucking, if we were going into a war, you'd think you'd get your ducks in order and start producing your own fucking weapons.
Hey. This is the secret. I know the secret of how to win the war. Drones. We need to make drones. And that's a long border.
Yeah, drones, where they import them from fucking China.
We'll import them from China to fight our war with the States.
Yeah, well, that's where they're all coming from anyways. They ended up getting drones at the guard our border. Where'd the drones come from, the guard our border? They came from China, right? It is what it is. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go do some work, buddy.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks a lot for checking in.
Yeah, I gotta crack the whip. Okay, buddy.
That's Leo, mouth of the South. He's the guy responsible for bringing pot to Canada.
But you have to think about it. I mean, we're in a war, no matter what happens, whether we join with the United States and Russia, or whether we don't and we form an alliance with everyone else to take on Russia and the United States, we're in a war.
I don't know, but all I can say is the war is on.
And it will be a kinetic war too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Like I said, I'm feeling disillusioned about this whole thing. You know, people are going to hurt financially. Myself personally, I could give a shit, really, honestly. I'm not going to hurt over what Trump is doing. But there are going to be a lot of people where that 25% tariff is going to hurt them financially. They might lose their job. They might have to go on welfare or whatever, unemployment, enjoyment. And in fact, that's what the NDP is talking about, where they're going, yeah, we'll set up a safety blanket. Yeah, they're all for socialism, you know. How about producing some jobs for the people out there? That's the problem.
So you know about the alliance, and you know that the mines, the mineral mines that are really rich, billions of dollars, that Ukraine, Russia has taken over, and Ukraine is trying to make that deal with the UK for them to have it, for them to mine it, and Russia is trying to make the deal with the United States. It'll be to keep that property, to keep that land, and for the United States to mine it.
Yeah. Well, the deal that was coming down before Zelensky kind of blew the deal by having the meeting with Trump, the deal on the minerals was for the Americans to have the ability to go into the Ukraine and American companies to be able to mine the minerals and make profits off of the minerals, but the profits that went to the Ukraine, right, from the minerals would be held kind of in trust to rebuild the Ukraine after the war. So it wasn't like the U.S. is going in there and taking all the minerals. No, they're just sending companies in there to mine the minerals, but the actual wealth from the minerals will go to the Ukraine and then to be used to rebuild Ukraine. So it wasn't like Trump was going, yeah, we're going to go in there and get all their minerals and bring the wealth back to the States.
Are you sure about that, Tommy?
That's what the deal was. That's how the deal ended up. Yep. I was following closely as to what was going on. So it ended up being actually a good deal for the Ukraine to go with it. And I don't know if that deal is going to go through or not.
So all these other countries, Europe and UK and all these other countries that's invested all this equipment, invested all this money in Ukraine, you think they're going to be okay with that?
Well, they have to, because they know that if Russia takes over the Ukraine, well, then it's going to be Europe next. So you have to stop them now.
It's going to be Europe. It's going to be China too.
It's going to be World War III if that happens.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't want that.
Turkey's already on board. Turkey's not having any of this. China's not having any of these tariffs. The alliances are being formed, Tommy, as we speak.
Well, I'm wondering what China is going to do about the tariffs, because you can see what Canada is doing. We got all kind of different factions saying what they're going to do in Canada. But China, what is China? I haven't heard what China is going to do.
China's already responding. Go check it out. There's a lot of videos on that right now. They're already responding. In fact, they're moving into Taiwan right now to take over Taiwan.
Wow. We'll have to look at that. All I know is we're in a bad situation.
I'm just saying, it doesn't look to me that there's any other way out of this except for a kinetic war, World War III. Unless Trump backs off with all these tariffs and apologizes to everyone. And, we go back to the Ukraine war and support Ukraine and we shun Russia. I don't see any other option other than a war.
Well, we're not going to have a war with the states. Canada won't have a war because we're not going to win. The states will obviously win. It's just, a matter of numbers and
of course not.
who has the weapons and everything else.
We need alliances.
We need to do is we need to talk the situation down. Now, obviously, Trudeau is not capable of dealing with Trump. So it's going to be Pierre Poilievre once he gets in. And now this is a waiting game for Canada because we have to wait until the election. Pierre gets in, then Pierre can have a meeting with Trump and say, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to work with you. We're going to get rid of, maybe he'll say we're going to get rid of genders or whatever, all the rest of this stuff, make Trump a little happier about that, and do something about the tariffs here and the drugs. If the tariffs are actually there because of the drug problem in Canada and because of the terrorists going to the States, well, then we need to do more. We absolutely need to do more. And maybe Trump will trust Pierre, who's a conservative, as opposed to Trudeau, who he doesn't even want to deal with, and we can get something done and get rid of the tariffs then. I'd like to see that.
If we would do that, Tommy, I think that would stop all of this between the United States and Canada anyway.
Yeah.
But we're still going to
we have to be friends. I don't want to see jobs going. I like the situation where we're at here right now. We had free trade between Canada and the States, and we didn't have any tax on widgets and that going across the borders, and that was actually the best thing. I liked it. And you know what? Canada wasn't being greedy about anything. Canada is more of a have country where we have a lot of resources and we sell our resources anywhere in the world and to a lot of other countries, and they use our resources to get rich, right? So we're helping a lot of countries.
Yeah,
but
we're
some
still
people don't see that.
Even if we were to do all of this and we're friends again with the United States, we're still going to have, there's still wars inevitable because we're still going to have the problems of that way.
Well, remember that people are wanting to fight. All over the place, even cavemen, they were fighting when you have factions of people and somebody wants something else. And usually it's land. People fight over land and minerals and resources. Those are the number one thing that fights happen between different countries.
It's all about resources and money. And the same thing is for Trump. And these tariffs are all about money too, because the United States, because Russia has been killing the USA dollar, especially going to BRICS, and all these other BRICS nations have been killing the USA dollar. So the only way to save the USA dollar is to tariff everybody and make everybody else pay. And I think that's part of Trump's thinking.
Yeah.
Make everyone
I'll tell you
pay.
another side effect of what's going on. I'll tell you right now is like S&P futures down, WT oil down to 68. Like I'm looking at the stock market here. You've got all of the American market except maybe the let's see. In Canada, TSX down 429. That's a big number. TSX down. TSX Venture down in Canada. So everything is down. Gold is up $20. Silver is up, right? Because when things happen bad within a political realm and they think that the dollars are going to be falling, then gold and things like that go up. S&P futures down. Dow down. Now even the NASDAQ is down today. Everything is down.
What happened in 2008, Tommy?
I don't know. What happened? The stock
You're seeing
market
the exact
crash?
same thing on the screen right now that you seen in 2008, just before the major recession.
Yeah. Well, this is like a hit right here, a one-shot hit, and it'll, of course, things will settle out here after a couple of days on the stock market. I don't think they'll be like in free fall, but who knows?
Because
a lot of people
they're going bankrupt. They're on the verge of bankruptcy, and they're trying to save their ass.
Yeah, well, a lot of the pundits are saying that the whole stock market is like overinflated and the numbers are way too high, and there needs to be some kind of a correction. So this is a good reason for a correction right now, I think.
And inflation is going to rise. So they're already talking about inflation rising. They spoke about that today. Stock market down, inflation rising. That only
well,
says thing.
If the price of oil is going to, price of oil will go up. Okay, if you put a 10% tax on Canadian oil being refined in the States, and that oil is going to be used to fill the cars and vehicles and that, it's going to go up in price. That's inflation.
China, Russia, all of the BRICS nations have been pounding hard at the U.S. dollar, trying to ruin the U.S. dollar for many years now. This has been something they're playing the long game, and it's been working. And now the USA is in trouble, especially under the Biden administration. It's hurt them. Now it's at the point where it's do or die. They want their dollar to stay the world currency. And now the BRICS is taking over that world currency. So USA is fighting back. And this is the way that USA is fighting back.
Yeah. Rusty's saying Trump has already been dissing Pierre. So I don't know. I haven't heard him say that. Pierre is conservative, but Pierre is Canada, and if he's pissed off at Canada, well,
he just said he wasn't MAGA. He wasn't really.
Oh, well, yeah. Pierre said, on the thing there today, that he's not MAGA, which of course he's not. He's not Make America Great. He's Make Canada Great. So that's obvious. But he's not MAGA in the sense of he's not the same thought process as Trump and the whole MAGA movement in the States. That kind of MAGA.
Well, anyway, I'm going to jump down. I just hope that hope it all works out. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't feel I am. I think we got a war coming, and God help us all.
Oh, I don't know. We're not, no war. We're not going to war with the States. Canada is a non-warring entity.
I'm not talking about a war with the States. I'm talking about a world war.
We're a peacekeeping nation.
Or whatever. Yeah, we are.
But is there a war coming? Maybe. But I think if there's any war coming, it would be more likely if the United States got embedded with military in the Ukraine and started really going hard against Russia. That in itself would create the so-called Third World War.
Well, I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but I don't think I'll be wrong. I really don't.
I hope you're wrong.
All of this is designed for a war. I think it's all designed. Everything that's happening is all designed for us to be at war. Because the only way for them to implement the world agenda, which is coming, is to have that war.
Not good. We don't want to see it. No war. No war. Make love, not war. Make love, not war, as they say.
In a perfect world, that's what we should have. Yes. In a perfect world, that ain't gonna happen. We're not at that stage. We're at the stage for everybody to go through a lot of hell, and we have a lot of hell coming our way, coming down the pipes.
That's right. So we better be careful.
You don't have
I say at this moment, you better stock up on dollars. Stock up on dollars. You need dollars because in case of war, maybe the kind of dollars you need is like silver and gold, not paper money. Maybe not dollars, but silver and gold. That's the thing to do. Because when the world crashes, your money is going to be worthless. Remember where they had German marks? They had a wheelbarrow full of German marks, and it was worthless, completely worthless. Yeah, well, that's what happens in time of war and in times of high inflation.
Have you not seen all the videos about war? I mean, all of these gold companies are selling gold they don't even have. They're selling 1 ounce of freaking gold. How many times?
Yeah. Well, buy the actual product so you can. Okay, it's like this. Buy this
gold that everybody's paid for.
This is what you want to buy right here.
Right. You have to put it in your hand. If you don't have it in your hand, you don't have it. Because they've oversold gold.
Yeah, make sure it's legit.
Yeah. See, that's money. If you have it in your hand. If you don't have it in your hand,
Right. And remember, when in cases of war, your inflation rate goes up so high that your paper money becomes worthless. But guess what gains in value? The actual commodity actually becomes like worth its weight in gold or silver, so called the saying, right?
All resources, well, yes.
Exactly.
All resources. And that's the only thing that you are going to protect your money with if you buy resources. That's it. And especially gold, silver, copper, whatever. It's all going to be.
Yeah, exactly. So always, and what you want to do is like, if you go to places where you can buy a little silver dollar or something like that, try and buy something maybe once a week or once a month. Buy a little bit of silver or gold or whatever you can afford, and just put it away, put it in a little safe or stockpile it or something, and save it for a rainy day. That's kind of an easy way to do it, because it's really, really, really hard to save money. Right. Let's face it. Nobody saves money. Everyone lives paycheck to paycheck, and you don't worry about the future at all.
Save money anymore, Tommy. Nobody can afford to.
I know. I know.
Economy the way it is, and expensive
stuff.
Is that people can barely live, let alone eat, and have everything that they need, let alone save any money or even invest in gold. A lot of people.
Well, the other thing is that people
don't have it.
In North America, we have not been trained to save money. But look at the over in China, for example. In China, it's like 20% of every paycheck goes in the bank, like clockwork. Everyone knows that in China, and everyone does that in China. And it's like hammered into your brain from when you're a child. Over here, it's like, who cares? Blow your money. Hey, what's the first thing you do when you're finished school? You go out and you buy a brand new car or whatever you can, and you get a loan on it, whatever, and then you're paying off that loan until you're like 30 years old. You haven't saved up a penny because you're busy paying off your bloody car. And at the end of the day, what's the car worth? Worthless. It's $100 beater at the end of the day. That's the way we live here.
What's the percentage here in Canada, just on a guesstimate, Tommy, that you believe that anyone actually owns their car or their house full out? What would
the only people are going to be seniors?
It's off of credit, just like a lot of people in the United States. So you never really own it. If you owe the bank, you don't own it.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It takes, usually when you buy a house, you take out a 25-year loan. So you don't actually own the house until 25 years has elapsed. And these days, they're beefing it up because the down payments and the price of the properties are so expensive that you're like getting 35-year loans or more. Ridiculous.
And what happens almost 80% of that time? Within that 25 years, the house needs repairs. So you remortgage it.
Exactly.
Get another loan to repair the house. So by then, you still owe the exact same amount or close to it, after that 25-year period.
Oh, it's pretty tough. Well, in fact, after 25 years, the thing is probably worthless, and it's ready to tear down and do a rebuild.
Well,
believe me, people don't want old real estate. Everyone wants brand new. And if you have something old, they'll tear it down and they'll rebuild. So that's my take.
The system is designed to keep us broke, because when we're broke, they can control us easier. We're easier to manage.
Well, the last thing that the government wants is for you to take over the government. So the government will do whatever they can do to control you. So they're more fearful of a convoy rolling to Ottawa with intentions of taking over the government than anything else, right? That's what they thought was going to happen.
Yeah, well, we seen that, didn't we?
Well, that's why Trudeau called everyone a terrorist.
Some people wanted that. Some people were in there to do that as well. So that was actually a real thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, what it was there was a letter that they wanted to give to the senators to reform the government. That's what it was. But Trudeau took it as being, they want to take over the government. And he actually brought that up when they brought up the reason for the emergencies, too.
But there was many people that in that convoy that would actually say on live camera, we're going to take over the government. Well,
probably, but people are like, off the cuff and say crap like that. But was there any real meaning? I was in the convoy, and I didn't go there with hearing a whole bunch of people saying we're going to take over the government. It was like yeah, we're going there to protest the mandates. That the whole thing of taking over the government or whatever, that was a side issue by pretty much one guy that I saw that I knew of. I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, you're right. There may very well have been other people. I'm not going to dispute that.
The grassroots people that were there for all the right reasons. They weren't there for that reason. They were there to have the mandates taken off,
right?
So that they could earn and make money, and that's all they wanted to do. But there were people embedded in there that were in it for different intentions to overthrow.
Which is sad. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. When you get a group of people together that you have no control of, because the convoy was literally thousands of people that you didn't know who they were, you didn't know what their names were, you didn't even know what their vehicles were, you didn't know anything about the other people. The other people were just there. And then you had a very few people that, like Pat King, for example, that had a social media account that everyone was following, that when he went live, you could hear what he had to say and he could give some direction to the people, and that's the way it was. But the people that he was giving direction to, man, he didn't even know 99% of the people. They were just there.
That's right. And that's not our fault. And there's something that Brett's been saying in this chat for a bit that I do agree with, that, United States can't even manufacture a jet without Canada. That's true. That's true, Brett.
Yes. But well, yeah, they were saying that today on your stream there, where he was talking about nickel from Ontario, and they can't produce, jets and aircraft and missiles and all kind of stuff like that without Canadian resources. So yeah, if you cut off supply of that or put up big tariffs on that, well, that's going to hurt those industries as well. So there's a lot of things that can be done. But remember, Trump has the upper hand. He really doesn't. We're such a small issue compared to the states and who the states deal with all the rest of the world, that he can put the pressure on Canada, and really all we can do is bow down and go, yeah, okay, we'll do whatever you want to do.
No, see, that's not the way I think, Tommy. We don't have to bow, because other people would come to our aid if that were to happen. Okay, so USA would not just be going against Canada. There'd be other people to our aid, and especially UK, Europe, Paris, Turkey, and then even Iran, India, maybe. Like right now, everybody's a bit pissed about this whole thing on everything that Trump is doing. So don't think that no one would come to our aid, because somebody would. Now, I'm just saying, hopefully none of this ever happens. But you can't really say that. Bow down? No, I don't think we're going to bow down. Our leaders are not going to bow down. A lot of Canadians are not going to bow down either. We're not going to be bullied, period. Like Trump, you're not going to come in here and bully us and just say, give us your country, and I say, okay, thank you for taking our country. That's not going to happen. We're not going to roll over, Tommy. And that's the problem. We're not going to roll over, and neither is a lot of other countries. We're not going to roll over for Trump's demands. And there's a lot of people aligning that are not going to roll over to Trump's demands, which will align. And we're going to have to choose. Either we're going to have to align and be a part of the United States and Russia, and then take on the entire world in a war, or we align with the rest of the countries that want to take on Russia and the United States. We only have two choices here. Which one are we going to take? Right now, it looks like we're sending $5 billion to Ukraine, and all of our governments, including PP, Trump, is going to fight Trump. They are not going to bow down to Trump, Tommy. Our leaders are not going to allow them to take over Canada, which means they're going to align with the other countries.
I do see that the leaders in Canada are absolutely taking a really hard stand against Trump and saying, yeah, we're not going to be the 51st state, and we're going to fight. So yeah, I absolutely see the leaders taking that stance. Pierre, the only one that I haven't seen that is maybe Danielle Smith, but yeah, from the standpoint of the leaders in Canada, at least they're holding the fort, so to speak.
Yeah, if our rest of our prime minister and our premiers would take the same stance as Danielle Smith and try and talk this out with Trump, make a deal with Trump, we might get somewhere. We might not be in this position right now, but that's not happening, Tommy. It's not happening. And it's not happening to anyone else in the world either.
Okay, so just on the surface, what do you think about this? Do you think that he put those tariffs up just because of the fentanyl and the terrorists, or did he have a different alternative motive?
He's got a different alternative. First of all, he's really making a stand. He is making a stand right now. He knows he's going broke. He knows that his dollar is in harm because of the BRICS. And he needs to implement tariffs to get some of that money back so that he can make his dollar worth more so his dollar doesn't fall and he doesn't go bankrupt. So I think he's just using the fentanyl as an excuse, as well as the border, because he has the same problem with his border as Canada does. Under the Biden administration, it was all the same shit, different pile.
There you go.
They have
I agree.
All the exact same problems as us.
I would say
it runs deeper.
The fentanyl problem is Mexico, not Canada. You know, it's a little bit Canada, just a little bit, because let's face it, drugs are going to come into the United States via air, via sea, via borders, via everywhere. And the amount of fentanyl going into the States from Canada is very, very small compared to what's going in from Mexico. No. But yet we get hit with the same tariff as Mexico. Like, why is that? You know, there's no thinking to that. So therefore, I would have to say that the tariffs are kind of he wanted to put up the tariffs, but the fentanyl and that crap was just a guise as a means for the end result to put the tariffs up. And once the tariffs are up, how are we going to say, and he already knows that we've done stuff to eliminate fentanyl and to solidify the border and do stuff like that, but that didn't make any difference. He still threw the tariffs up, didn't he?
We haven't done anything. We haven't fixed a real problem with fentanyl. Because I'm going to have to disagree with you. BC is a very big hub for fentanyl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. I agree.
And
I agree.
In Mexico, yes. But guess what? We're all aligned with China. Mexico and BC is aligned with China for the fentanyl coming in. Trump is not wrong about that. He's right about that. And
well, that's where we have to do something. We need to do something.
Yeah, and our prime ministers here are denying the problem. There's already been proof. There's already been people busted already in BC. From all these
I saw that I believe there were 2 fairly big fentanyl labs busted after Trump said that he was going to put the tariffs on. They somehow came up with these labs that they probably knew about already. Who knows? I don't know.
And our government knows about it, including PP. They know about it too. So Trump is not wrong about that. So there is some truth to what Trump is saying, but I believe it runs deeper than just that. But that is definitely a problem.
Jim is right where he's saying that there was a fair trade agreement made with Trump back the FART Act, yeah. But that is being disputed. There's some sort of a world organization that Canada is going to now and saying, hey, you know what? We negotiated. We said what the border tariffs were going to be or what the taxes were going to be, and we made an agreement. And now Trump is going ahead and voiding that agreement by coming up with this 25% tax. So they're going to dispute it in some kind of a world court or something, but who knows how that'll work out.
Either way, man, we're in a lot of shit. And the United States is in a lot of shit too. Throughout all these changes that Trump is doing, even if he gets away with it, guys, it's going to be a world of hurt for both of us, for sure.
Yeah, not a good situation. But what can you do? Well, we'll see. We'll have to be talking about it. It'll be on the, everyone at every little country restaurant will be talking about what's going on here. And it's a talk of the town. We're in trouble. We're fearful up here in Canada. We don't know what's going to happen next. What'll he do next? If he did this now, what'll happen next? Nobody knows.
That's right. And, he's only been in office, a couple of months, right? So not even.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Not even. And, he's done a lot. A lot of his executive orders and everything he signed. I commend him for that. I commend him for a lot of those changes. Those changes needed to be made. He's got the lefties on the run. He's got the WF on the run right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and we need to do the same thing in Canada with the WEF. We do not need to. We got to look at. We're hurting so bad. We have this stupid carbon tax that is just killing business in Canada, killing life in Canada, and it's going up here. Another, I don't know how many percent it's going up, and it's like for no good reason whatsoever. We're paying through the nose on taxes, and now we have to pay a 25% tax on top of that for anything that we buy from the States. So this is enough. Enough is enough with these stupid taxes already. All it is making it hard for anybody to really put food on their plate.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same in the United States. These taxes and all of this is only going to harm the people. It's not going to harm the rich. It's going to harm the ordinary, everyday, grassroots person.
Yeah. Those people that are saying today that I hardly have enough money to live, well, what are they going to do? You're going to make it even worse for those people. It's like ridiculous. We need better. I don't know. But interesting. But you know what? I love times like this. It was like when COVID hit. I loved when COVID hit because it was like, wow, what's going to happen now? It's like every day there's something new, like a new law, a new regulation, a new this, a new that, a new person pissed off at the thing, can't get into Costco unless you have a mask, whatever. And now we're into a whole brand new thing, which is like huge, as Trump would say, that really affects not only us, but probably the whole world. Look at Ukraine over there. They're jumping in their boots. They're wondering what the hell is going to happen. Is he going to actually give them some money, or is he going to just leave them to be eaten up by Russia and to be defended by the Europeans? Like, this whole world is just in a state of chaos here right now. I've never seen it like this, but it's fun. For me, it's fun because I like action. I like interesting things that are going on.
No, Russia is a powerhouse, and if the United States is definitely going to align with Russia because they want the power.
Well, no.
Yes,
he doesn't. He's not. Trump is not aligning with Russia. He's just plain not giving Ukraine money.
Then why is he making Russia cut his defense spending in half, and so will United States? And there was a discussion about this, about how even Russia, with half of their military budget, and USA with half their military budget, with all their nukes and all their equipment, could actually take on the entire world, the rest of the entire world.
Well, I know that there are talks going on to reduce spending on atomic bombs. Like, Trump does not want to be building any more atomic bombs. Oh, hang on. I got a quick phone call. I'll let you talk.
Actually, I'll be right back.
Oh my. What has Trump gotten the United States into? And what do you think as an American with what Trump has done, with what he's doing? Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's great? Do you think it's good to, because really he's bringing jobs back home. That's what he's doing. He's not, he's not intentionally trying to harm Canada, but he is in fact harming Canada in order to bring the jobs back home to the States. And that's what he's doing. I don't know. If I was an American, I would just be shrugging my shoulders and going, well, yeah, we want more jobs here. So if it's going to bring the jobs back home, hey, all for it. That's what I would be thinking. But if you're a Canadian, that's not what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, this is a bad situation.
What about thinking this, Tommy? What about thinking this? And a lot of the other people in the world has been thinking this for a lot of years. what about the United States has been bullying the entire world for a very long time and dictating to all worlds, inserting themselves in wars and other people's business that they never should have done ever in the first place. They should have allowed their countries to deal with their own problems. But United States has always been the one to jump in there and have a war. And all these people have been putting up with all of the United States policies and their dictation for a very long time and been bullied by the United States for a very long time. And a lot of countries have said enough, especially now that they've seen this Russia war. They've seen NATO in there. They've seen them try to take out Russia. Guess what? You can't even take out Russia. Even with NATO.
That's right.
So a lot of people see a weakness here in the United States. United States, a lot of the people, they still think they're that powerful and that strong. But a lot of the rest of the world are seeing them now weak. And they have been picking at their dollar to the point now that their dollar is so low. And they're bringing up the BRICS currency against the US dollar, beating all of the not tariffs, but you know what I mean, that they've been doing to Russia. I don't think it was tariffs. What was it? I can't remember off the top of my head, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, they set up, where you can't sell things, whatever.
Right. Or they're going to be charged like so much, right? And that's why they've gone to the BRICS. So this has been planned for a while. People are tired of being told what to do by the United States.
Yeah.
This is
Roger David says, I'm a Canadian and I respect what Trump is doing. As a Canadian, I don't want to see the country suffer, but I do want to see new leadership that can make effective changes. Yeah. Well, that's Pierre. Pierre, once he gets elected, if he can, work out some kind of a deal with Trump to get rid of these tariffs after he's elected, that would be great. Also, we had Robert said that you don't just whip up manufacturing plants in 2 weeks. Absolutely. I understand that. To bring jobs home, it'll take years to happen. It doesn't happen immediately. You don't see jobs popping up the day after the tariffs are up there. It takes a long time. And even, if you're going to put a plant up, look, it might take 10 years to put a plant in, 5 years to put a plant up.
You got to build
but eventually the jobs will come home. If you put the tariffs up, the jobs will come. It's just a matter of time.
Trump ain't got enough time to implement this.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Brett is on stage here. We'll bring him up here. He's got something to say. Brett, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Terribly well.
You're calling a lot of things going on chaos. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of chaos, but there's something that, like, a bigger picture that's being overlooked by a bunch of people on both sides of the aisle, as it were. Excuse me. Where if you look at where Trump has been targeting, it's the, in quotes, raw earth. He keeps saying raw earth deal, right? Like, raw earth is suddenly a thing. So Canada, lots of valuable resources in that regard. Probably one of the richest countries in the world next to Russia. Why is Donald cozying up to Russia? Raw earth could be a thing. Biggest thing with Ukraine, raw earth. What does Greenland have? Raw earth resources. Lots of raw earth resources that are being talked about. Hold on.
Yeah.
And there's a point of it, though, that's being overlooked and missed as to why. When you have his best buddy Elon sitting there beside him making electric vehicles, and they want all these massive artificial intelligence plants that are going to suck up all this energy. Did you hear Trump's address to the World Economic Forum, where he was talking about off-grid artificial intelligence plants, and the US is going to have to double their energy production? So would it not stand to reason then that maybe the strong arming of Canada and Greenland and Ukraine and cozying up to Russia, it might have something to do with the fact that the corporations want cheaper access to these materials, and the US wants to throw their weight around to go get those materials for their corporate buddies?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's about that. That's what we're saying. That's all.
Oh yeah. That's absolutely what's behind the whole thing is the so-called rare earth minerals, the minerals that are not just gas and oil and things like that, but uranium and the rare ones that are needed to build the electric cars and lots of different products, bombs and weapons and things like that, weapons of mass destruction. So Trump is definitely wanting to, but the problem is that you know who actually controls most of those rare earth minerals? It's China, because they've gone into all the countries all over the world and they've scooped them all up while everyone else has just been sitting there watching them do it. So now the United States is playing catch up.
Play off the conservative propaganda. It's literally Russia and China don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything. The US is sinking themselves by getting into these endless wars in the Middle East and getting into the quagmire that was Afghanistan. And the US is bringing itself down.
It didn't belong. Yes.
The US is bringing itself down. Russia and China, all they've been doing is trying to get out into the free market. You know, Russia's been expanding in their northern development. Like they've been actually the ones building their economies, while the U.S. has done nothing but shit theirs down the drain with endless wars.
And they ruined it all by
you're right on that. The U.S. spends a lot of money on wars, and they're always into some kind of a war. And even like look at the war against Iraq, where there was no real reason for going in there at all, other than there was suspect that they had weapons of mass destruction. Look at how much money was spent on that whole war, and they left tons and tons of military equipment in Iraq, and it was all for nothing. For nothing.
That was Netanyahu that stressed that if you go into Iraq and remove Saddam Hussein, democracy will just reign throughout the region. And clearly we've seen how well that worked, right?
Secondary reason for doing that, I guess, eh? Is that what you're saying?
No, that was the only reason for doing that, was because Netanyahu and Israel wanted the U.S. to go into Iraq. You can go back and look that up.
So the weapons of mass destruction was just a ruse, a reason for doing it, for going in there and getting rid of Saddam.
Do you honestly think
that was again another influence of Israel?
Do you think
I didn't come up to talk about Israel though, but.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but yes, sure.
9/11 and no, the Twin Towers. Do you honestly think that was Iraq, Tommy?
Well, it wasn't an inside. Well, I don't want to get into that, but I think it was extremists that did it. Terrorists did it. There was terrorists.
Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11. Nothing at all.
I don't know what country was behind it, but it was definitely terrorists that were involved in it.
Yeah, Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11, but there's still over 1.5 million dead Iraqis since 9/11, though.
Yeah. Well, what you can consider is that because of the U.S.'s involvement in the Middle East, that's what precipitated 9/11.
That was the excuse, not the facts.
That was a catalyst used to bring the U.S. into going into the Middle East. But again, I don't want to really get into all that so much as talking about the current thing with the tariffs and the trade.
But what about the tariffs right now, Brett? With why did Trump put the tariffs on Canada? Do you think it's minerals? It got nothing to do with fentanyl.
He told us why. He told us he was going to use economic hardship to try and make Canada take the knee and just succumb to him. And that's another thing that, as much as it pains me to say, I kind of agree with RV on. Where fuck that guy. You're saying up here, don't badmouth Trump. Fuck that. I'd be telling Trump to go fucking hit the road, get fucked, get lost. If you're sitting there saying you don't need anything from us, I guess you don't need our water bombers in California putting out your fires for you. I guess you don't need our nickel, our uranium, our aluminum, our oil and gas, electricity. You don't need any of these commodities, right?
Potash for food.
Potash is a huge one. You don't need any of these commodities. So if Canada has nothing you want, Canada has nothing you need, then what's with this 51st state crap talk? Like, it's speaking out of two sides of the mouth. Like, which one is true? Because if we didn't have anything you wanted or needed, there's no reason to take us over. 51st state crap talk. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
We're a valuable country. Canada is an extremely valuable country for natural resources. Any other country in the world would like to align with us or take us over or whatever. That's why we need a strong army. That's why we need protection, and that's why we need people in here that are going to be pro-Canada and not, let's split up and go somewhere else. I know I'm like bad for that because I live in Alberta and I'm so pissed off that Ottawa is taking our money all the time that I'm saying, let's split from Canada. Yeah, but I don't really want to split from Canada. I just want a better deal within Canada.
Canada. I mean, you had it a bit wrong too. I mean, Ontario is definitely a rich province. Quebec is a rich province.
Yeah.
It's a lot of propaganda is pushing narratives that just aren't true, right?
Yeah, they're not have-not provinces as they are wanting a handout from Alberta. That's ridiculous.
See, you know what would be really great, I think, that could come out of all this? Is old Leo there. I heard him on talking. What might be really great is let's get him making airplane parts. Because unbeknownst to a lot of Americans, Canada used to have the #1 aerospace engineering program on planet Earth.
100%.
So how about we get back to building our own damn planes instead of trying to ship off our resources to the US for them to manufacture planes just to sell back to us at exponentially larger costs. Like, that's crazy talk. We can build our own damn planes.
Well, okay. And then from what we've all said at this point, now comes in the one world argument that what the hell's the matter with you guys? Why are you all you countries are all arguing with each other, fighting with each other? Why don't you just become a one world where we all get together? We don't have borders. We don't have tariffs. We don't have anything. We all just live in harmony and peace.
Because Canada's never picked a fight with anyone. But a fight is being picked with us. And by our best friends and our ally that we've had for years, Tommy. We're in unprecedented times. This has never happened
before. That's why I'm sad that we're fighting here. I'm sad about the situation. I don't like it at all. And we need the problem is that we prorogued the government. We didn't have anybody talking about this in Parliament at all. All we had was Trudeau sitting in his frickin' basement on his computer, and then he comes up with this bullshit that he's going to try and fight Trump or something. I don't know what's going on. We're not gonna win this one. It's bad. We're done for. We're finished.
See, I don't like your tone. I really don't like you selling Canada short at all.
Yeah,
not even in the slightest. You're selling us way short.
Other options.
It seems like you've already thrown in the towel before it's even started. And frankly, you're not sounding patriotic at all.
Right. Exactly.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm more willing to work a deal. I'm like more of a deal maker. I want to see some kind of a deal happen. But the problem is I'm not seeing a deal happen because stupid Trudeau prorogues government, right? They don't talk about it. They're not getting together. Where's the envoy flying to the States to have meetings and to talk this thing out? It's not happening.
This is not all Trudeau's fault. Trump is literally the one that made the agreement with Canada. It's his deal. He signed it, and then he has the freaking audacity or cluelessness to go ahead and say, I don't know who made this deal. It's like the worst deal ever. I look at this deal, it's like, who could have made this deal? Like, you did, you dumb fuck. Like, Trump is an idiot.
I ain't
but the free trade deal is different than this tariff. The free trade deal is a deal that they made. Okay, fine. But this tariff is supposedly he's putting up because of bad people in Canada and drugs.
They're breaking their own deal. Trump is breaking his own deal that he made by putting tariffs on us.
Yes.
So Americans
and likewise, our only retribution is to go to the world.
Americans can fuck off saying that Canada did anything or started anything when it's actually Trump that broke his own deal, not only putting tariffs on us, He goes a step further and actually threatens our sovereignty. Like, clearly this guy doesn't know the Geneva Conventions are written because of Canadians. Like, don't piss us off, man. It's not a good idea.
They're acts of war against us. Acts of war, period.
Exactly. They are acts of war. And these dumb fuck American Trump cultists don't understand that these are being seen and interpreted as acts of aggression and acts of war. I don't, Tommy, I swear to fuck, like, you guys are some of the only people I hear talking about Russia and China right now. Like, our threat is from the US by a deranged lunatic.
100%.
Period.
Good point. I don't disagree with that. A lot of what you said makes a lot of sense. I don't like to be a basher, though. You understand? Like, I don't like to say Trump bad guy. That doesn't come out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Even though I don't like what he's doing. Well, I like him as a guy. I like him as a negotiator. But I don't like the kind of negotiating that's happening right now. That's for sure.
Well, why the double standards? You have no problem saying Trudeau's a dickhead.
Well, because I don't like Trudeau. Trudeau didn't do good for the country. You got to be able to criticize and challenge your politicians, whether you like them or agree with them on most things or not. Otherwise, what happens is how we get forcey jabby jabs into our arms if we're not challenging our politicians, even if we like them. So just maybe something to keep in mind. Well, I think it's time for another convoy to Ottawa. This time it's against the tariffs.
Much as it pains me to say, that is great advice. And Brett's got it. He knows what he's talking about there, too. He sees it. I
know. Well, the problem is you watch mainstream media and all they talk about is just this happened, and then you see a politician standing up and saying what he's going to do. But the underlying reasons for what's happening, people don't really talk about.
Corporate agenda. So just like RB was pointing out, things I've been saying for a long time in my channel. There's another thing I've been saying for a long time. With liberals, you get the social agenda, right? You get the bathroom controversies and, the alphabet community, the aid, whatever, right? It's all the social
fluff
agenda
that we pay for, but that we don't want.
Conservatives, you get the corporate agenda, where now you have the public corporations being sold off. I just watched a streamer in the US talking about that today, about the Medicaid and all of that, where they're trying to privatize the publicly run, Social Security, all that kind of stuff. It's all the rare earths for freaking Elon and Bezos and Zuckerberg. Like, you're seeing the corporate oligarchy put their foot down and getting whatever the heck they want. Like, I don't think a lot of the people are too far off when they say it's President Musk.
And who's behind all these resources? BlackRock, one of them. All of these precious minerals that we're mining. It's all BlackRock.
So, Brett, what's your take on? Okay, you know where we're at now. We know that the tariffs just came in. Today is like day one for the whole bloody thing. What do you think we should be doing now for Canada?
I thought it was funny listening to you guys, actually, because you guys were up here pumping Danielle Smith's tires, and I not only don't like Danielle Smith, but I disagree with her on this topic as well. And I don't like that she's down there kissing Trump's ass. That makes us look weak. When our leaders are going south, being summoned and kissing that prick's ass, that's what makes us look weak. I am much more in line with and I don't even like Doug Ford at all, but I'm much more in line with what he's doing and be like, all right, you guys want to try and hurt us or punish us or wage economic warfare on us? Well, two can play that game. Boom, all your booze is gone. Then he says, you know what? We're supposed to have another round coming in April. And if you guys do that, well, we're going to have to look at shutting your freaking electricity off. So I definitely agree. Like, we can't be bending the knee. We can't have our politicians going down there, washing his freaking feet, kissing his ass. That just makes us look weak. Like,
I know we don't want to be weak, but on the other hand, Nuts and Crackers says once Trudeau gives Trump a blowjob, the tariffs will go away.
Well, that might be true.
Well, we don't listen to that juvenile, so that guy's just a juvenile troll. So who gives a shit?
But you
Hey,
have to
hey,
agree.
Just another Trump cultist.
Hey, we have to. All resources have to be exhausted. That's what I say. Even if
Right.
Trudeau has to go down
I
there.
have to agree with what Danielle Smith is doing.
I don't listen
with
too much.
drugs.
I don't listen to too much to Trump cultists.
You have to agree with Danielle Smith is doing about the drug thing, putting the people that are on these drugs into that home, forcing them in there to get them off the drugs. I mean, she is doing some good things.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I like
maybe
Danielle. I think she's a
you
good
can call
premier.
me-
I like her.
Call me liberal. Call me whatever. But in my mind, anytime you have a government going and kidnapping people off the streets, they generally tend to not be the good guys in history. Just saying.
What are you talking about, Ukraine?
No, he's talking about what I just said. That is a true fact, being forced to go undergo treatment to get off the drugs. But what about when...
Oh, I see. Yeah. With the Canadian thing there. No, I don't want to. Hey, I don't want to see a drug addict stooped over on the side of my street here. I really don't want that in my neighborhood. It's not good for me. It's not good for my children, and it's not good for the whole neighborhood. I don't want it out of here. And if it takes taking that guy off the street and locking him up and putting him into mandatory treatment, what else can you do? I don't know what else you can do. What else can you do? Otherwise, let him run.
You can do lots. So I got to go,
Like what?
but I want to leave you with this, okay? When a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower. So instead of all these, we need to fix the people crap, what we actually need to do is fix the toxic environment that's being built. We need to have lower tax rates on the lower and middle class and increase tax on the rich. Not the opposite of what Trump is doing, right? It needs bottom-up economics. We need to have families be able to provide for their kids, have housing, have transportation, maybe still enough left over to take a vacation. We need a safe environment and educated people. We need to fix the environment in which these people are growing in order for them to bloom. So I don't necessarily agree with, I mean, I get the sentiment and I understand, but I'm not for taking people off the streets and forcing them into anything. Like that's traditionally, that's more fascist than, democracy and freedom, right? So in my mind, fix it much more smarter, intelligent approach is so people aren't viewing people aren't viewing guns as an answer to a problem. People aren't self-medicating with these bad drugs because they feel their life is hopeless. Like you got to fix the environment. And our environment, our society is very toxic and fucked right now.
Well, hang on, but Brent, but what I'm saying is instead of having the drug addict that stooped over be arrested and locked up in jail, why not take him and not lock him up in jail and incarcerate him, but take him and put him into a treatment facility and get him treatment? If you're going to lock him up anyways and just call him a piece of dirt and not do anything to help him, that's not right either. I'd say you're better off if you're going to take him off the street instead of arresting him, give him some treatment. That's all.
Over in jail, Tommy. From what Brett's saying, if you change the environment, that person wouldn't be leaped over or in jail or have to go to a treatment center.
Well, get rid of the fentanyl and get rid of the open use drug policy. It's a political issue. And I talked to the police about the guy stooped over on the street. You know what he tells me? Go talk to City Hall. They're the ones that tell us not to arrest anyone.
Well, that is exactly what Brett is saying, though, Tommy. That's exactly what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Fix the environment.
I agree.
Fix the environment, and that does include the cops, and that's right down to making that person happier, so that person doesn't feel that it has to use the drugs in the first place. Because
it's like okay, well that itself brings itself into why are people out on the streets? They're because they don't have a place to live. Why don't they have a place to live? Because they don't have a job. Why don't they have a job? Because there are too many people living in the frickin' country. Why are there too many people living in the country? Because of Trudeau's insane immigration policies to bring hundreds of thousands of people into the country with really no thought process as to where the hell you're going to put them all. That's where
Because
we're
the
at.
environment's not fixed. That's why.
That's part of the problem.
There's a lot of
Part of the
things that I
problem.
could say about
And
that.
I know
Not
you're
only from
pro-immigration, Brett, but at some point you have to say, gee, maybe
No.
too many people is hurting
Where do
us,
you
you know?
get that from? Where did you get that from?
I get it from the fact that I see what's going on in my city.
Well, no, I mean, where do you get calling me pro-immigration or whatever? I mean, at least I'm smart enough to acknowledge that Canada is built with refugees and immigrants. Like,
Well, no, well, yeah, no, but you're pro. Well, I'm saying you're pro-immigration, but you have to at least agree that hey, you have to
no,
at
it was
least limit
done on purpose.
immigration to some degree.
It was done on purpose to get the citizenry riled up and get these fucking diagolon pukes and these conservatives and whatever riled up and get them geared in to convince. No, listen to me, because you're seeing it. You're seeing it south of the border, Tommy, where they're literally violating civil rights, rounding people up that are actually indigenous to freaking the U.S. They're indigenous people. So, civil rights are going to be violated. But I wanted to just point one more thing out. Gary Webb exposed long ago, decades ago now, that it was the U.S. government bringing drugs into the country and flooding communities with it. Okay, so to blame all the Russias and the Chinas and Canada and all this other crap is just freaking crazy to me, because it was already exposed a very long time ago that it's the U.S. government doing it. It's the alphabet agencies doing it. So
subversive stuff happening. And then, you know what? Trump and Elon Musk are vetting that shit out of the government there right now as we speak.
Well, that's what they want you to believe anyways.
Wow. Hopefully it happens.
Anyways, I'm going to go. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Brett. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Appreciate your participation, and say hi to ABD.
Be careful of propaganda and do critical thinking. Think for yourself. Question everything.
You mega betcha.
Question everything, Tommy. Question everything. And you know what? A lot of what Brett said is right. Fix the environment. You wouldn't have that problem, because that person wouldn't be slumped over.
I know. That's what we need to do. Oh man, I'm getting another phone call in here.
That is one thing that he taught me right now that I never thought about. Well, I mean, I thought about it, but I never thought about it hard enough. But it has crossed my mind before. But now that Brett has said that, it definitely brings back memories that I used to think that way. But we've been changed along the way because of all this propaganda. We've been brainwashed, and that one slipped by me. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that back up, Brett. That makes a lot of sense. Makes a hell of a lot of sense. So now when it comes down to that, now I'm not so much over on Danielle's side anymore either. Because I do believe Danielle Smith also has a WF side as well. And I think that's what we're going to find out in the future.
Right on, Saigon, as they say. Let me just go in the back end here. Hang on. I just have to check my banned list here to see who all is banned in the channel, and we'll bring a few people out. But definitely not Carlitos. Let's see. I don't have that many people in here that are banned.
Hello, Elm. How you doing? Is that the real Elm or what? I've seen somebody.
I think that's the real Elm. Yes, it is. Because Elm said that we did a vote to take her wrench away. So that has to be the real one, because that actually happened.
Yeah, but I think she was just saying that nobody can be me. Somebody might be trying to clone her or something.
I have Kinna. Kinna is in my tank for whatever reason here.
That's probably not the real Kinna. Check it. I seen that.
Here. Okay. I can't check it once it's in the tank. Oh, hang on here. Got a quick phone call.
I'm pretty sure that's not the real Kinna. Is that Lola? Lola, are you that Canadian somebody? I mean, the way you talk, you remind me of that person, that Canadian Cindy or something.
Okay. Anyways, back to who's in there. Okay, somebody named Bunny is in my tank. Bunny. Edward
Bunny,
Cam.
Bunny is Bullets. That's a clone of Bullets.
That's Bullets? Okay, well, I'll take Bunny out. I'll take Edward Cam out. One of his alts or whatever. Who's this? Daisy's Coke dealer. Who's that? Must be Daisy's Coke dealer. We hate Angela. Blank. Oh, no. Maybe leave that one in there. Praxis is in there. Northern Skies. Northern Skies I'll let out. I don't even know who that is. Backdoor Mosh. I'll pull that one out. Who's this? Madeline something. Madeline. Bring Madeline out. That you think that Kinna is bad? Oh, well, I'll let that Kinna out. It's probably a bad person, but I don't know.
Well, it's Bullets, I think. I think that is Bullets.
Oh, okay. Well, I unfortunately...
I think that's a Bullet alt.
Country Girl. Who's that? I don't know. Al Munson. I don't know. There's so many freaking Al Munsons in here. There's about 3 Al Munsons in here. I don't even know which one is the real one.
He has a few.
They're all different spellings.
Al Munson has.
Anyways, we'll let him out. Who's Eldon Jones? Let him out. There's another Al Munson. Let him out. Jesus, 4 Al Munsons I had in there. I'll let them all out. Al's wife, Ella. Okay. I let a whole bunch of people out of the tank. I'm saving that. Good. And if somebody wants to type in the chat, I'll go over there and we'll see if we can make another mod in here today. Okay. So if I see you in the chat, I will make you a mod. Covert. I'm talking covertly here. Only the person that I'm talking to knows who I'm talking to.
If you're talking about me, I don't want to be a mod.
No, not you. Somebody else that wants to be a mod. So we're just going to make a new mod here. Pooh, you weren't in the gas tank, so you're good to go. Sandy Foster. Thanks, but I don't want a wrench. Elm, I want a wrench back. Okay, I'll give you a wrench back. Should I give Elm a wrench back? Give me one. 1 in the chat if I should give Elm a wrench back. 2 if I should not.
Elm's all right. You can give it.
I think Elm is okay.
Show respect it.
But you can't be timing people out because they say bad stuff about you. Because then it ends up to be a big problem. Ooh, look at there's a lot of 2s there. 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, but look at all the 2s.
Yeah. That's
the chat rules. The chat rules.
Guys are mad at her. They're only mad at her. That's all.
Chat rules. Yeah, I know, but I gave her. Why did I forget why I had to take the wrench away from her. So it'll probably happen again. So
channels, Tommy. It's your channel, so you decide.
Yeah. There's ABD had a wrench. Remember? ABD
should have one.
Well, I think the only reason I took her wrench away is because she was avoiding my channel for a couple of weeks there.
She should have one.
Okay. Well. Okay. Anyways, we'll think about what's going to happen. And we'll talk. I'll ask the people if they want a wrench first before I give them a wrench too, because I have given people a wrench before, and then they said I don't want a wrench. So then I go, okay, I'll take the wrench away.
My channel has,
but that's okay. We have enough wrenches.
Doing better than ever. It's actually calmer and better.
Well, yeah. ABD is actually. I had no problems whatsoever with ABD and with a wrench either. Actually, you know what? I will give you your wrench back, ABD.
She should have one. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were actually a good mod when you did have a wrench.
Take you around.
I just have to find her. Cat voted 5 times. Good. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll give you a wrench, okay? For pointing that out. Okay. In fact, I'll make you a managing moderator, ABD. So you can turn on my timers. Be able to turn on my timers. I think you know how to do that. Because I mean, timers, I'm not sure if they're even turned on here today. We're not getting any new subs here because we don't even have any timers turned on.
You see Al Munson's back.
I see that. Well, I let about 10 Al Munsons out of the gas tank there, so one of them has to be the real one. Not sure which one. Let chat vote. Well, we out too late. I already gave her a wrench. No, ABD's had a wrench here before. I took her wrench away because she was not coming around the channel here, so I thought, she was like avoiding me or something. Internet monster. What? Internet monster. Tommy Temper gave me what? Hemorrhagic fever. Wow. What? Why do you think I've been visiting Panama lately or something to get something like that? Elm.
Painful.
Oh, Elm says you never took it away. I hid my channel and lost it. Okay. Good. Exactly, Elm. Elm, I hope you're doing okay now with your relationship there. I know I heard a little bit about what was you were telling us what was going on there. So I hope that everything is going well, that you're getting along. That is nice. Just like my wife and I, we get along nicely, very nicely. We try and be nice to each other, not argue, not fight, not call each other names. Just like the internet should be. And it's not. You know what I mean? Come on in. Welcome to the flight. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready to rumble. Uh-oh. Where's the tornado? Hey, are we noticing that? If you're noticing the tornadoes and stuff like that, the weather has been bad there lately in the States. The weather stations and tornadoes have been rolling. Lots of stuff going on there. Got to be careful. Meanwhile, we're fighting about tariffs and crap like that are like all made up. Fake stuff. Fighting about fake stuff.
No, I wouldn't, K9. I wouldn't give Elm a wrench in my channel.
I don't know. RV. I would say, you know what? And I don't know if you heard me yesterday when I was saying this, but channels are more productive when you have lots of people, even the trolls in there. So you want to have the trolls in your channel. You don't want to ban trolls.
My channel will be productive when I start doing the content and driving around and doing the real content. I mean, I was out for like an hour and 5 minutes that last time. Just a boring ass dry stream, Tommy. Over 1,000 viewers in just an hour. My channel, like what I'm doing with my channel in the future, I'm not going to need my trolls or those trolls in my channel or anyone else that causes problems, because my channel is going to do fine with my adventures. You know, go check out any van life. Go check out any van life site, and you're going to see tons and tons of video, tons of views and thousands and thousands of views. I'm going to do just fine. I don't need to have this bullshit in my channel to have a channel. I mean, right now it's just a chat, and it's nice and calm. The trolls have actually backed off. They've really been pretty decent, other than today. But they've actually been pretty decent and buggered off. So,
well, like I do see, like you got Charlie in there, and then Charlie comes up with the ball bag thing and calling you a ball bag, and they get Munson calling you a ball bag.
That's such an insult,
which is like pretty disrespectful.
I got a pretty big set, so that's not really an insult. That's kind of true.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I don't.
They're just telling the truth. Okay, I got it. Got it. Well, at least they didn't call you a little dick man. You know, that would have been really disrespectful.
Right?
Where's the song? I'll put the song on here. No, I don't want to get a music strike. So far, I haven't played any music today. We're lucky, except for the fake music, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I did allow a lot, but that's, it's all in the process of giving people chances, ABD, and I always give people chances. I'll give anyone chances, and I'm a sucker for giving people a lot of chances. I'm a sucker for that. I hope for the best in people, and I hope that that we can get along. We don't need to go through that bullshit. You can have an opinion, but you don't have to be so freaking rude about it and insult and call people names. That's my opinion.
That's true. Yeah. I know those little names and stuff like that I don't like. But people, they latch onto you and they see one or two things that you do that they don't like, and then all of a sudden you're a bad guy in their book, and then they attack you and you're being, call you names and stuff like that, and it goes on forever. Elm says I went through 2 weeks of hospital. Wish me luck. So yeah, good luck, Elm. Hopefully everything will work out well for you.
Well, I don't know. A lot of those pirates are really nice. I haven't had any problems with them. In fact, I got a couple $100, over $200 worth of super chats from them, and they come into my channel. They're always respectful. Other than maybe a couple of them, okay, like Red, he's not very nice. That's for sure.
Well, he's the leader. What do you mean he's not very nice? He's the captain. He's the admiral.
But that's Red. That's all on Red, though. I'm talking about the rest of them. Just because they go into his channel, they've been nice to me, and they have been proven more true than the trolls have so far.
Well, yeah, but okay. What if I say that the pirates were sucking up to you? Would you say yes or no?
I would say that's fine as long as they're nice. They're giving me views.
Well, okay, there you go. At least you agree with that. They were sucking up to you to like get into your channel and be part of your channel and to be, exactly where it is right now. So,
well, it's not harming my channel other than keeping the trolls out. And in fact, it's probably making my channel better because the trolls aren't in there causing the trouble.
Oh, Red Pirate is keeping the trolls out. Okay. I gotcha.
Well,
I don't know. My own take is Red can come over here. Everyone comes over here. Everyone has fun over here. I don't, bash people for who they are or what they are or whatever. In fact, DOA, Defender Advance, you could come over here, but Defender Advance, he just hides and whatever, does his own thing, and then just, he's going to talk in his channel and just deletes your, bans your whatever. But anyone can come over here. I don't want to put anyone in a tank. Anyone can say what they want. And I would rather have a harmonious kind of a channel where people don't call each other names and that everyone tries to get along with each other and has fun. It's a fun kind of a thing. Mayhem and miracles, like your channel over there. You guys don't talk about bullshit and stuff like that. Oh, except for Nitro and Hannah and... And shh, quiet, Tommy. Don't talk about that.
I'm learning.
Of course, nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you something about the lore that I've learned. I learned that the trolls are way more trouble than the pirates have been. That's the lore I've learned so far. Doesn't matter if they're kissing up. Doesn't matter if they're sucking up. If they're nice in my chat, then they're giving me views. People want to be in there. They're not being attacked. And they're not causing any harm except for keeping the trolls out. In fact, they're doing some good. So you say I don't know the lore. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're setting me up for something. But what are they going to set me up from? I'm too smart to be set up in the long run. Okay, because I give people chances, and I'm too smart to be set up in anything. So what's it harming? What's it harming to find out? Seriously.
Well, yeah. I know. Well, like I could come out here and tell you all the bad stuff about, Admiral or whatever, but you may have heard it before, and you may not believe me, and you know what I mean. Like it's like me going over to the Scientology guys and saying, you know what, you better be careful about DOA. You don't know him. I know him because I've been following him for 4 years. But those guys over there, they're going, no, we love DOA. He's bullhorning little old ladies and causing drama and shit like that, and we love him, you know. And I'm going, yeah, but you don't really know how he's what he's done in the past, and that it's the same old thing over and over again, where he's going in there only for the reason of causing drama to get clicks and views and donations. Like, come on, you guys, get with it. Hey, Telescope, you know all about it.
Red is not part of this conversation, okay? We can probably agree with a lot of things about Red. So he's not even a part of the conversation. I'm talking about other people like Kit Kat, even Red Mama. Even though she is with him, she seems to be a nice person. Maybe she's not. I don't know, but she's nice to me. We're talking about Spa that's in here. We're talking about Viking, Marshall. These, you know, a lot of these people are in my chat. They're very nice people. And we're not talking about Red. We're not talking
Most people are pretty nice on here. Most are. You know, Red can be pretty good. Like, Red has porn bombed my channel, right? He's porn bombed me. Has he porn bombed you yet?
What's she used me for, Sandy? What's she used me for? My channel to come in on and chat on? So what? Let her come use my channel to chat with her friends. As long as they're decent in there, so what? How's that using me? In fact, it helps my channel. That's not using me. So, if I don't know the lore, then tell me the lore. What's the harm in what I'm doing? Letting them in. Especially if it's keeping some people out that'll only go in there and cause trouble anyway. It keeps them out.
Well, the lore, there's a lot of lore on Admiral Red. But even though there's a lot of lore on him, he's welcome in my channel. I don't put it this way. I don't like to say to somebody, I don't like you because of something you've said and done, and I'm going to ban you, right? I don't like to ban people. I like even if you're a murderer, what? You can't reform? You can't be a reformed murderer? Apparently people get out of jail. So what do? Do you just shun them because they killed somebody? You know, I don't know.
Red is not even in this conversation, Tommy. I mean, Red's not in the conversation. And I can see what all you say about Red. I understand what you're saying about Red. But I'm not talking about Red. I'm talking about some of the people that come to my channel that are from Red's channel that consider themselves pirates. They're not like Red.
Yeah. Well, they can be good people. A lot of the people that follow Red are good people. There's no doubt about that.
That's what I'm saying. But we're not. No, don't put Red in this conversation, because even Red knows I don't trust him. Even Red knows that, you know, what I think about the things that he does and says. Even he knows that, and so does Red Mama, Crystal. And she knows that too. She knows I'm not fond of her boyfriend. So
right there in itself is exactly that. And you know, people look at that and they go, well, that person is a bad person because of who their boyfriend is, or who they used to have as a boyfriend or whatever. So I don't want to have anything to do with him because of that. And I'm like, holy shit. It's like, you know, give us a few degrees of separation here. You know, like, I'm not that person. I'm not the same as that person. And I didn't have anything to do with that friend or mate of that person. You know, like, get over it already. Let's try and be more friendly rather than try and pick out deficiencies or what somebody did in their past and then hold it against them forever. Like, move on.
People are different. People make mistakes. People make bad decisions.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a bad person just because you associated with somebody that did something bad. Does it?
It does. Apparently it does. It does.
To them it does. To most of this chat it does, but not in real life.
Well, and I would say that I find it this way, that most of the people that call names are going to latch on to something like that and then use it against you.
Right.
The name callers out there.
Right.
Which are the trolls. And most of the trolls are the Biden voters. So it's kind of funny how it all kind of fits in when you think about it.
Exactly. So I'm getting, you know, with the pirates being in there, I'm getting less of those Biden voters, lefties, coming in, causing the trouble that they cause, calling people names and causing drama, like Kat and Sandy. you know,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
Dean and Mo.
Well, you know who I find is the worst of the whole bunch as far as being like really hard to the core, but doesn't talk that much would be Dean. Dean is like, he's like, only
And
once in a while he'll say something, but he'll like give you that throat punch, you know?
yeah, Dean and Mo. Yeah, I find them two the worst, for sure. I get you there. I see that. They're
Yeah,
the ones in my
Mo
head.
doesn't bug me that much. Actually, most people are good with me, and I think that the reason that most people are good with me because they could be more harsh with me is that they understand that this is a kind of a interesting channel to hang out in, and you don't really want to be banned from Tommy Temper's channel because this is kind of a fun. We have fun here. I have fun.
Yeah,
I'm
because
here
they
for
get to
fun.
say things that they can't see on other channels because you allow it on yours.
Exactly.
And no other channel will allow it. So
Yeah.
this is one place, one sanctuary that they have that they can come in here and be assholes.
Yep.
Dickheads.
Yeah, we can talk about Red. We can talk about DOA. We can talk about anyone out there, and they may not like the fact that we're talking about them, but we're talking about them. And this is the place where, if you know what's going on in the circles of what we're talking about, there's not many places where you can talk about all these different people, and and everyone goes, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And you allow that in here, and that's why they all come in here. Because they can say whatever they want, pretty much, and get away with it for the most part. Well,
It's one
everyone
big
says you're a nice
happy
guy.
family.
Everyone
Nice.
says you're a nice guy, but I haven't seen it.
There
I
you
haven't
go.
seen it. Even JFK. Even JFK I can have a conversation with, and I can see some goodness in him. But I haven't seen any goodness in you, Mo. None. Or Dean.
Mo gives me some information once in a while on other people, so he's to me he's kind of helpful. Fry, you can take me out of the tank. You're not in the tank. You have a wrench.
I
Smash
listen,
that like button. Yeah, we need
a lot-
more likes
a lot
on
of
the
you
stream
guys
here.
might not get this, but I really like good people. I don't like other people, insulting other people, call other people names, and being horrible, because I don't think that's going to help our world in any way. I really don't. I think that's just contributing to the problem.
Ah, Confucius say,
I'm far from a pussy. Bet on
man
that.
with hand in pocket feel cocky all day. Let's go. Get this game started.
Well, JFK, actually, I can tell he's a good person. Actually cares, even though he can be a real cock. He actually seems to be an okay person. He really seems to genuinely care about people, and that's the kind of people I like.
Well, over time, people get, when you first appeared on the scene here, you were like out of the blue. There's RV, right? Along with Rusty on the channel. So it was like the RV and Rusty show, right? And nobody knew you. And you came over to my channel, and then all of a sudden, everyone on my channel found out about your channel. And of course, the trolls are, hanging out in my channel. So they go over to your channel and then start beating you up and abusing you because they don't know anything about you. And you say a couple of things that really people will take a couple of little things that you say that maybe you said something about a woman or something like that. And then, man, they will go hard on you and use that as like, he's a bad guy because he's saying nasty stuff, blah, 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 and that's what the trolls do. The trolls try and make something out of nothing. But maybe the something that they're making out of is actually, nobody's perfect and people mess up. And once in a while, when you mess up, they latch onto it and then you're screwed.
Yeah, well, I don't regret anything I've done or said because I know what I've said and done and how I meant it. Now, maybe other people took it a different way. Well, it's too bad, it's two sides. I don't really care what
That's
people
what happens.
think about me. I don't care what people think about me, but that's exactly right. They come in and they'll find something. Even if there's nothing, they'll dig and dig and dig, and they'll take something, they'll turn it around, twist it, make it sound something different. Just like they did on that recording of mine, where they only recorded what I was saying, but they never recorded what I was responding to. The comments that I was responding to never got into that picture or that recording. So they make me out to be this big ass asshole, which I can be. And I'm not saying that I've never been an asshole, because I can be. If you piss me off, yeah, I can be a real asshole. I don't take no shit from anybody. I never have, and never will. But I was responding. On all these cases, I was responding to what was being said to me. And you're only getting one side of the story. You're getting what I said. And everything else was dubbed out. You weren't getting the questions, or you weren't getting what the people were saying to me for what I was responding to. And that matters. It really does.
Well, yeah, they'll take something that you say and take it out of context or whatever, or just grab onto it. It's like a little soundbite thing with the TV station, where they'll take a little soundbite and then they'll twist it around to their own use to make you look bad or something, you know? And it happens all the time.
Well, exactly. And that's what the trolls do. That's what the trolls do. You piss one of them off. A lot of times you piss many of them off, and that's what's happened in my case. And I don't really care. I don't care if these guys hate me. It doesn't matter to me at all. I don't care if any of these people ever come on my channel. I don't care, because I know I'll have people on my channel regardless, and it doesn't matter who wants to be there. If you don't want to be there, you don't want to understand me, you don't want to be my friend, then don't come on my channel. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, likewise, if you want to have a channel, or even be in the chat, anything to do with YouTube, if you have thin skin, you're not going to last either in the chat or on the channel. And if you're a channel owner, it's like 10 times worse, because you're in the public eye. You're more likely to get hassled, whatever, ragged on, called abusive names and stuff like that, than if you're in the chat. So you better have thick skin if you want to be doing any kind of streaming. I'll absolutely agree with that.
Now, see, that's a complete lie. For the speech that I called you a skank. I never called you a skank. I might have been talking about women in general as being skanks, yeah, but not directly. I did not. And
the worst is you, Lolo. Like, come on. Don't call people bigots and whatever. You know, like that, to me, that bothers me. That really does. Like, honestly, and I know you've called me that too. And like, okay, I don't agree with anything or everything that anyone has to say, or what everyone has to say. And you know, like, let's look up let's look up a bigot and see the meaning of a bigot. You know, do I have to really go through this again? You know, nobody's perfect. And not everyone is likable. And if you don't like someone, well, it doesn't make you a bigot.
All they have is bigot and racist. That's all they can do. All the lefties can do is call you a bigot or a racist. The word is overused. Every freaking person in here, all you trolls,
it's meaningless.
They're racist against people.
It's like I am sitting here trying so hard to be the nicest person in the world, and I still get called a bigot. Still get called a racist. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Like, what do I need to do to be like such a wholesome person? Like, what does it take? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's all the people that's turned against me. You can stay turned against me, because it's been very peaceful. It's been very nice over to my channel, and thank you for that. You can just stay where you are if you want to. You don't need to be in my channel. I'm happy you not being there.
Rusty says Tommy supports the abusers. He puts homeless in dog houses, and he supports Trump killing Canada. Nice one, Rusty. I like it. Well thought. Well thought out. I like it. I don't know. Nobody's perfect, though. You know, and of those of you out there that are trying to make everyone in this world perfect, good luck. That's all I can say is good luck. You got a battle on your hands there, because holy.
For sure.
Some of us that you're trying to change don't even know what it is that we're doing wrong that we need to change, you know?
And if you're talking about me, I don't care.
There you go. Some people, I turn on some guy's channel, and they're going like N-word, 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 N-word all the way through the whole thing. Why don't you go over onto one of those channels and give them a little peace of mind, Over here, we're trying to be wholesome. We're trying to be good people.
Oh, yeah.
Be nice. Holy.
Whatever. Your channel is anything but wholesome. I can tell you that. I'm wholesome in here.
It's when things are the worst on my channel, when I get women guests coming on my channel. That's when all hell breaks loose, and it's like, yeah, then you can say whatever you want to call me when that happens. But now with you guys here, it's not that bad. But the women, holy, yeah, get Queenie and Daisy up here, holy.
Yeah, for sure. I like Queenie. I've really become to like Queenie right now.
Well, she's changed. She's become a matriarch of the water now, so she's not smoking as much weed lately, and she actually has the ability to heal her own vehicle when it overheats. I can't believe it.
Yes, I've seen that. Somebody
heal
my channel.
She put her hand over that radiator and healed the whole frickin' engine. I couldn't believe it when that happened. And was back on the road like 10 seconds later. So look out. She's got some power now. She's got the power. It's like, you got the power. The power. Oh, I know. It's like that. Ah! Scream. Ron Volts. Talk about Queenie, and that's you want to know how to bring Ron Volts out of the woodwork. just say Queenie. Ron Volts is Queenie's biggest fan, I think. There, holy. Ron Volts in the house. Good to see you.
He still has a nasty mouth, that's for sure, Ron Volts. But I mean, as far as going totally nuts like she was before, well, she's changed on that area. She's a lot calmer now than she was before.
Well, yeah. Put it this way. She will still attack you if you attack her, which is, to be expected. But she's not just sitting there ranting, being like a hate channel for the whole time. She's like having fun with her chat, and doing her own thing, which is good. I like that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a ladies' night here for maximum views. Christina W. in the house. Oh, there's that seeing eye, the old eye. What is that eye? I think it has something to do with this. The all-seeing eye of Christina W.
To be clear, I don't want to, to anyone to misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm still not Queenie's friend. But I can tolerate her now, is basically what I'm saying. I can tolerate her. Whereas before, I couldn't tolerate her at all. But I can tolerate her now, so that's an improvement.
Yeah. Well, I kind of started out as Queenie's friend, right? She was a mod for me over on Zello. And then I asked her to come and mod for me on my channel on YouTube. So that's how she kind of came on YouTube. She came over here, started a channel to mod for me. But then she went live. And the rest is history, So, but am I a friend of hers? Yeah, well, we had to kind of break up because she was being too abusive to some people on the internet. So I said, you know what? Let's break ties. You go your way, I'll go my way. But I can't say that she's not an enemy of mine at all. Like I'm friends with her, but I don't go over to her channel because I think that other people are gonna trash talk me for being over in her channel and in her chat. And they're going to bemean me for that. So for that reason, the chat and the trolls have kind of conditioned me to not go over and talk in her chat. So.
But why would you care what if you're letting your chat tell you how to be as a human being?
No, but
No, I don't.
Then they end up coming back to me and go, what are you doing in Queenie's chat? You support Queenie and blah, blah, blah.
You're letting your chat tell you how to be as a human being. Bottom line, you shouldn't. Your chat should never tell you who you are, Tommy. You are who you are.
Well, you try and be on the up and up. I try and be on the up and up to be like, a little bit better than some of the people out there. So I try and, watch where I go and what I say. Some places I can't go, other places I can go, and some other places I end up not going because of things like that. So be it.
Well, I've seen what you said there, Super Salt. Of course, it matter. I'm just saying, he's his own person. Okay, he's not you, Salty. He's not you, Betty. He's not you, Penelope Peach, or Cat Rex, or anyone else. He's Tommy. Why does it matter? Why would you guys give him a hard time? Because he likes somebody that you don't. You know, Tommy's a good guy. And the reason why he likes people that you don't, because he sees things in people that maybe you don't see. And you never give a chance.
Yeah. Betty White says,
a bad person.
Betty White says, Tommy, your friend Queenie has been run out of every room she went into last week. Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah. So Queenie, she makes a lot of trouble on the internet. She has a lot of enemies on the internet, you know. And if you look close at her channel, who actually chats there, it's like a whole bunch of people that I don't even know. I don't know those people. They don't come over here. They don't go anywhere else. They're people that Queenie has attracted from the internet that are only in her channel and nowhere else. You know what I mean? And the people that are over here don't go in her channel, I think, because they know what kind of a person that she is, right? And or they'll be banned or something like that. I don't know. So it's like you end up with your own little echo chamber. So she's got her own little echo chamber over there, right? That's what's going on.
Well, that's what these people that come in your channel do, Tommy. They try to do the same thing in my channel. They try, all of them try to get you to do what they want you to do because they think that's how you should be instead of who you really are. And you're better than the people that are trying to teach you these things. And you cannot please every single person anyway. You could maybe please the majority, but there's going to be always some that are not going to agree with what you do. You can't please everyone.
That's true.
At one time.
Yeah.
So why are
myself though, I take the attitude of trying not to fight with people, you know. And like here, Pam says from customer services, and talking about you, saying, I thought you said Tommy was a scumbag. Yeah, you know, Arfie might have said I was a scumbag or I was this or that or whatever. But you know, I came onto him insinuating that he was coming onto ABD, which was false, and somebody who said it, and I was just making a quiff about it, you know. Making fun of the situation, you know, which of course hurt RV, and he, you know, lashed back at me. So I understand that. It was expected for what I did. So, you know, I don't have a problem with him calling me a scumbag for what I said. You know, simple. Right?
And where did you get all that information from, Tommy? You get it all from the trolls in your channel.
Oh yeah, like wow. Of course, I went over and I heard you talking to ABD when she was on the out at that time, and you were just trying to be a friend to her and help her, and I knew that. But the trolls were saying that you were trying to pick her up or something like that, and I was me. It's the same thing with D the other day. Somebody in the chat said that D was hanging out in Elsie's chat, and then I come out here and I go, hey, D was hanging out in Elsie's chat, which was false. She wasn't doing that. So it was actually me, coming up with the fabrication and just, expounding upon it and making it worse than it was, which in case it was false. Yeah, all troll started.
And a lot of these other people in here that are mad at me have the same problem. They got sucked in by the lies from the trolls. And they're mad at me for no reason. But that's fine. And they can keep it that way because I don't care. But what my point is that you can't, like you say, you're trying to tell me how to run my channel and what I should do with my channel, what I shouldn't do with my channel. And so are all the people in here that are in here right now. And the people that come into my channel try and tell me how to run it. But see, I don't allow them to tell me who I am because I know who I am, Tommy, and so do you. And you shouldn't be listening to all of this crap because you know that you should know it's all fabricated or blown out of proportion.
Well, 9 times out of 10, I know the difference between right and wrong, and I can read through the lines, and I know what the trolls are trying to do. But sometimes I run with what they're saying just because it's kind of funny, and I'm just trying to. It's a fun thing for me to sort of promote what the trolls are doing once in a while, once in a blue moon, just for the hell of it. So that's what I did. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
And I did the same thing with Dee the other day because I knew it was fake. I didn't know that she was on Elsie's channel and the trolls were saying that, so I just went with what everyone else was rolling with, and just for the fun of it.
I know it's fun to do sometimes, but at the same time, it gets pretty old after a while too. Your channel's been doing, it's been going through this for a long time. It's getting pretty old. I mean, you really only have the same amount of people in here. You very rarely get any new people in here because of it, because it's always the same people doing the exact same thing. I don't know. To me, that would just be boring with not having any new people to meet and just having the same old people doing the same old thing.
Well, I would love for this channel to attract new people, to have new subs coming in here. And the only way that you can get new subs is by actually going live. If you don't go live or don't produce some, put a video out or on YouTube, you're not going to get any people subbing to you, and you're not going to get any new people. So it's like a tit for tat. You're not going to get a sub if you don't go live, and I have to go live, and I have to do something, and the something that I do is with the people that are part of the channel right now, right? So I have to embrace the community. It's a community. Every channel has its own community, right? And like everyone says, "Oh, your channel's no good. You're going downhill, whatever." No, that's not the way it is. It's like Queenie. Everyone says, "Queenie, your channel's going to die." You say bad stuff to people. No, she has her own community that she's built up around herself, and every channel has its own community. And of course, some of the community gets shared with other channels as you, as you come into the scene, you're a new channel. The people over here go, yeah, okay, let's check him out over there, and it gets shared out, and around it goes. But my channel is getting bigger. Like, look we've got. Well, my counter is showing 95 people, 95, and I'm on X and on Facebook as well. So people are watching on those things that we don't see over here. So my audience is growing larger every time that I go live, and now we're up to 100. I can reach that number pretty much every time that I go live on a horizontal, which is extremely hard to do. It's easy to hit 100 people watching if you go vertical. Vertical is a different thing, and you can't compare vertical to horizontal. They're completely different audiences.
And you have Canada RV on your panel, and that's definitely going to attract some viewers, especially because there's a lot.
Having good guests and good conversation and topical stuff. Right, this is topical crap that we're talking about with Trump and whatever's going on here with these tariffs. It's like affecting you in the States and us here in Canada. So, we're all shaking in our boots here right now, wondering what the hell Trump is going to do next.
I am Mr. Nice Guy, Butterflies. Maybe if you all had enough freaking brains to figure that out, you'd know that by now. But guess what? You haven't figured that out. And I don't care. You don't need to know anymore. You had your chance.
Telescope. What do I need? Some AI music about living in an RV or something? Telescope is saying there. Hang on. I do have AI music here. Here.
City on the Tommy is the cower. It's the show you gotta see. Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl round. Trolls are everywhere they abound.
There you go. That's it. Right there.
I'm here because Tommy was in my channel all day, and I'm here out of respect for Tommy. I didn't come here for you guys. Don't worry. I came here for Tommy.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, I like hanging out in your channel. I like hanging out in Rusty's channel. I like hanging out in, I hang out in Troll Central. But there again, you'll never see me type anything in Troll Central, right? I think I typed something in there once last week or something, or a week ago. But I try not to type in Troll Central because it's the troll channel. It's not my channel, right? And actually, I want to know who the trolls are, and I consider anybody that types in Troll Central is probably a troll. Right, so I can at least keep track of who all the trolls are.
Yeah. But yeah, don't worry, guys. I didn't come here for you. I came here for Tommy. So don't flatter yourself. Miss Angie, hey, listen, who's the one restreaming me and bad-mouthing me on your channel over there before I responded? So anything I did to you, you did first. Let's remember that.
Angie. What have you done now? Look at, okay, this is me, Angie and I. I understand where Angie is in the fighting with Red, and I try and be a friend with Reds.
You do, but have you seen what Angie has done to him? Did you know what Angie has done to him? Well, I do.
Well, hang on. You're getting into their fight, and you need, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you need to stay out of their fight because the fight is between them, and the fight is not between you and Angie or you and Red. Red is bringing you into the turmoil, and then he's showing you and saying, "Look this is how bad she is," But on the other hand, you may not know everything about Red and about how bad Red is. You know what I mean? So you're having one bad guy trying to out another bad guy, and that's what's going on there.
Yeah, but this happened a while ago. This happened before, even when I was with everyone liked me at that point.
I've been watching these guys for 3 years. 3 years I've been watching Red and Angie and what's going on.
Hear me out. This all happened a long time ago when all Angie's people were going in there, and a lot of the trolls were going in there. A lot of good people were in there. That's when my channel was just getting going. I was just figuring people out, and I didn't know the lore then. That's when all that stuff was sent to me. And once I had that stuff sent to me, Angie still had all this time to respond. I was still her friend, but once I knew what she did, we could have talked about it. We could have worked it out. We could have been friends. But it was Angie that backed off from being my friend and then started doing things over on her channel about me.
But I think she did that because you were you had to be talking about her in a negative fashion for her to start to attack you.
No, I just said I know what she did. And if you know what she did, I've got the evidence of what she did.
Well, and probably you were platforming, and you're platforming Red, which Angie didn't like.
Well, it wasn't just. I'm not just talking about Red. I'm talking about Crystal too. What she did, it was horrible. I mean, I don't know what happened.
Angie says, "I did nothing until you badmouthed me with the pirates. You sent me an apology, and I told you no thanks. That's all I did."
That's bullshit. You were restreaming me just the other day, Angie. Restreaming me, calling me a racist. You're a liar. When I heard that, that's when I started putting your pictures up. That's when I started badmouthing you. Until then, I didn't.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that Red got you involved with badmouthing Angie. If it wasn't for Red, you wouldn't be badmouthing Angie, would you?
If I didn't see what she did to Red either.
But hang on. But you may not have seen everything that Red did to her or that Red has said about other people. As far as I'm concerned, both parties are complicit with their fighting. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, I agree. No, they both. I agree that both.
I wouldn't be. I understand that she was restreaming you or doing something or whatever, and you didn't like that. Yeah, okay, but that's retribution for you and Red getting together and badmouthing her, and she didn't like it. Simple.
Do you know Miss Angie has never been banned from my channel? She could have come in my channel at any one point in time. Up until that point, she's not even banned right now at this point. She could come in my channel right now, and she could chat, and she could talk to me. I was even in your channel, Tommy, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and tried to talk to Miss Angie in your channel, and she was bad-mouthing me in here.
Yeah. And she's saying right there, temper. I've never restreamed him.
Bullshit. She's a liar. She was restreaming my content a few days ago, even. I don't know how many days ago, but it was within less than a week. She was.
Well, if it was me, I'd be thankful. I'd be going, thanks a lot for restreaming me. I appreciate the free advertising.
Yeah, they were telling me to go over because she was restreaming me. They were telling
getting
me
some new subs. And I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't strike people, so I say, well, if she's doing that, let her do it. But when I found
that's the best way. It's best not to strike people like Telescope, who gave me a strike. Telescope, who's in my chat here right now, who actually gave me a strike for for restreaming some of his content when he was on the convoy. He was on the convoy way 3 years ago. I restreamed him, and 3 years later he gives me a freaking strike. Telescope.
Well, I can
Son of
tell
a
you
gun.
the information that they sent me, that was not a lie. It was evidence that what Angie did to them. Now, I don't know what happened before that. Okay. And that's none of my business. And you're right, Tommy. You're right. I should not be involved, and I'm not. Like, what happened to them?
Same thing here. I'm not involved, and that's why I'm a friend of Red's and I'm a friend of Angie's. And let them do their own fighting, but please don't get me involved in your fight. You know,
I would be a friend of Angie if she wanted to be a friend of mine. But it wasn't me that it wasn't me that backed away from Angie. It was Angie that backed away from me because of Red.
Yeah.
Because I told her I got an email. All I said, I got an email.
Turn a fresh page. Turn a fresh page and consider today a new day. Take whatever was going on between Angie and you and just start a fresh page, and don't try not to fight with her, and she'll probably be okay. She's saying that she didn't restream you, but I'm not. We're not going to argue about that. Who cares?
Red was in there arguing with Al or something, and Red was in there being racist, like you know what Red does. He was being racist in my channel.
Well, if even you're saying he's a racist, that's pretty bad.
Andrew was restreaming it and calling everybody, all the people, like Kit Kat and other people that were in the channel, all racist because of it. Tell me that's not true, Angie, because that is true, and we all know it is.
That's terrible.
But yeah, it was.
What's that? Harvey gets pissed at any woman that won't give him their email and phone number. That's a fact. Says Mater.
Yeah, whatever. You're the girl who sent it to me. I never asked for it. You just sent
Mater's not a troll, by the way. Mater's whatever, regular guy.
I've never asked for an email from any of you women. You send it to me.
Yeah.
You know,
somebody said something. Was it Betty White said something about me and women? I don't care if you're a man or a woman in my chat. Really, I'm not like looking for a particular audience. But I will say that if I look at the statistics of my channel, YouTube tells me that 70% of my audience are women. So, for whatever reason, that's the way my audience is.
Yeah, my audience is like 60 or 70% women too, and mine too, Tommy.
Yeah, I think it's like that, because if you're a man podcasting, you may have more women watching it. And likewise, women that are doing the podcast, they probably have men as a bigger audience.
Well, then, Angie, if you never restream me or anything, you want to be friends, all you have to do is be my friend, and I'll be your friend, okay? You know I'm not, I forgive easy, so.
What's a woman? A woman is someone that doesn't have an Adam's apple.
I don't need to prove anything, Angie. I was just told, and it's just what I've been told. And things were being said that, only
Tommy,
only
you do go after more women. You're very rude with several women in here. Oh,
who?
Well,
me?
I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm like, you ever hear of apple pie? That's Tommy Temper. Like, come on, Betty. Yeah, but Betty, on the other hand, I've heard some things about you that, you cause shit. There's an example right there.
Yep.
I don't know. Just saying.
Fact. That's a fact.
There you go. Betty White, to stir it up. I've heard several times where people say you're stirring it up over in other channels and stuff, and then they come over here to try and give you hell or whatever. But Betty, I like you. I think you're okay.
Well, she could be a pain, but I don't mind her. I don't mind Betty.
I try and like everyone. Even if you've hated on me or whatever, I'll still like you. I don't care. RV's a pussy. RV's a pussy magnet. There you go. That's why you got all those women in your channel. I don't know why they're coming over here. I'm no pussy magnet. I'm married. I'm married. I admit I'm married.
I don't mind Pam. She's like a smart ass.
Somebody said they really liked her last one there where she's dumping on Trump. I watched a bit of it, but I don't really particularly like watching dumping on Trump type videos, seeing as I kind of don't mind Trump. Yeah, but I'm slowly changing my ways, though, as you can see.
Yeah, I'm trying to accept more of that side. I'm working on accepting it. You know what I mean?
D says you only have 2 women in your chat.
I am
Cam's the girl. Pam, P-A-M. Pam from customer service.
Yeah, we weren't talking about Cam. We were said Pam. Pam from customer service.
Pam.
She's got a sense of humor.
Not mentioned the
Smart
panel
ass.
guest at all.
And I love a smart
See?
ass.
Betty White says she's actually swearing about you there. Do you see that? Wow.
Oh, probably.
Not good.
There's probably a lot of people swearing at me right now.
What the heck is Al Munson? No what? No, is that Jesus? What the heck's that supposed to be?
So what is your point? I can't mention your name. I was just like looking in the chat when I said that. Just mention names. I'm not singling you out, Betty. So relax, girl. See what I mean? That's just like you're just
jump to the conclusions there.
Yeah. I was just talking to
Oh my God.
people in chat, for Christ's sake. And your name was
doesn't help when I have chauvinist males on the panel. Anyone can look at the link is posted. Anyone can come up here. I'm not asking anyone to come up here. It's like free for all. Anyone can come up here. If you don't like the guest or whatever, then come on up here yourself and let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, define a chauvinist male. Define that for me. How am I a chauvinist?
Yeah. Well, if we have a 70% audience, don't you want to have a bunch of male chauvinist pigs up here on the panel so that you can, bash us?
Exactly. They love doing that.
Yeah.
So come on, girls.
We'll play the game.
Get up here and bash.
We'll go with the flow.
Yeah, we'll play with it.
If you can't beat them, join them. Read the Jesus. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I know. We read that, Betty. Didn't say anything about him. You don't have to. He knows you're talking about him. Snafu.
You're already getting me freaking attention, so that's always a good thing, right?
Even Snafu just for you. Yeah, that's perfect. Hey, are you going to be live today?
Yeah, I'm probably going live, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm going to cut the panel here because it's just about 6 o'clock and I'm going to go with the kids. We're going to hop in the car and go drive down to a restaurant there. And we saw a new one that opened up over on Calgary Trail. So we're going to head over there.
All right.
And my lighting is dimming on me. Plus, you were going to get off the panel like an hour ago, if I recall.
Yeah. Yeah, you kept me talking.
Yeah, well, we'll let you go. So thanks a lot for coming on. There's our male chauvinist, RV, Canada RV, along with male chauvinist Tommy Temper on the show here. Thanks for coming on, RV. Appreciate it. Big ups to you.
Yeah, enjoyed myself.
You bet. Catch you later. Tariff Tuesday over on the RV channel. Catch him when he goes live there. You can continue the conversation on the tariff Trump deal here. But yeah, we might even come over there and say hi to you there too. But otherwise, it's been nice. It's been wonderful. It's been a slice. I just can't say enough about how much fun it has been here today. And I think it's time to say sayonara, or no, sayonara. We'll see you later. Au revoir. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Fix your chroma key once in a while. And don't worry about paying those 15% tariffs on crap that you buy from Canada. Don't worry about it. You're not going to go broke over it. And yeah, don't worry about losing your job because, yeah, there's always welfare to go on, stuff like that. You can always go and fall back on those social services. See you all later. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Woohoo! Hang on 1 second. Stand by. One more thing. Any donations that I get, we're going to be applying them. Actually, any donations that I've gotten here in the last little while, we're going to be applying towards the shelter that we're building. We're building that one-man shelter. And I would just like to say that... let me see here. so far today on this stream, okay, funding of super chats. I'm just going to go over my super chat list here. And on this stream today, which is a 3-hour and 53-minute stream so far, I have gotten 0 super chats. 0. So we have 0 super chats going to the homeless shelter that we're building. I just wanted to let you know that. So, well, you know, we like to get the odd super chat once in a while, but it's not necessary. So I don't want to see anyone doing that now. But just so you know, it's not for the money. We're not out here saying, please send me money, please send me money. But on the other hand, if you don't say that, nobody super chats you. You don't get anything. So that's what happened here today. We got a stream with 0 super chats, which means if that ever happens to me, that I'm less likely to go live again, because I feel bad that it was just a non-productive stream that didn't even get 1 super chat. So it was actually a failure. Ron, I said no. I said, please don't give me a super chat.
Happy now, Tommy.
Well, yeah, I am. But, you know, I'm not like that. I'm not saying it like that. I like to see a super chat just generically come in when somebody, you know, appreciates the content as it's flowing along, as opposed to me, you know, being like a grifter asking for somebody to super chat. But, you know, thanks a lot, Snafu and Ron Volts. You made my day. You actually made my day. And I will go live again. Thank you very, very, very much. I really, really appreciate that. Really, honestly, for a streamer, the one thing that makes you feel good, other than the people coming in to chat and the chat and chatting and being part of your program, is the fact that you get the odd little super chat. It's like a little tip, right? If you did a good job as a waitress or a waiter, then you get a little tip from people, and that's what really makes you feel good and makes you come back to your job again and not go home and go on welfare, right? So thanks a lot. Appreciate that. And with that being said, thumbs up. Thanks a lot. I'll be live again.